Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knowledge Relationships Toxic Tuesdays, home of the toxicity. Of course, we already know why you guys came here for, because you seriously need some help. You got some toxic individuals. Why else would you not be here?
So the
Anyway,
mother's toxic, huh?
mm-hmm. Yeah, man. We got some sick mofos up in here, man. You know, but but we're glad you guys are here, man. Nevertheless, and so man, we got something cooking for tonight, man, and we definitely got to go all in on this one. So tonight,
Yeah, this topic right here, man. I think it's kind of sad, man, when you think about it,
mm-hmm.
because it kind of highlights the issues. Because a long time ago, man, when I first came into space, man, I wasn't doing it to because I think a lot of people did kind of give red pill pushback because they was trying to, I'll say, get some subscribers and stuff out of it because the red pill shit was pretty popular at the time. So I try to give it a listen because there is some truths into the red pill. So it's not like I got an issue with it. Mainly I have an issue with the red pill, I'll say, is because some of the messaging, like I said, there's a lot of truths in there. The shit is kind of common sense, but also there's, like when we used to do debates and stuff, because, we used to give a pushback, me and Manic, when we came in. And some of the people we knew, they would be like, man, why y'all coming at the red pill like that? We're like, man, because, it's like a trick philosophy when you kind of think about it. It's like, because they teach you how to kind of pedestalize women. Because, the whole thing is like, hey, man, go lift weights, get your money up. Then give all your money to the chick. It's like, and she hopefully she'll fall in love with you. So, we was pointing out that type of stuff. We're like, nah, y'all kind of lead them in a burning building, get somebody that works with you, get somebody that's not using you for the money, that's just not there for the money. So their whole messaging when we first came in, a lot of the guys was like, oh man, you level up, you get the money, and all the women will fall under that. Man, if you make them like stay at home wives, they'll love you. And like I said, it's like this glorious thing is gonna just happen, like fuck having swag and all that shit, personality. It's just like the answer, the end all be all was get money, and then your life is just gonna fall in order. So when you kind of started going through the years, like I said, because we came in about 3 years ago, you start seeing the people that was on the forefront of the red pill, either they have like a scandal, they can't hold on to shit. So it's just playing out how we used to kind of say it and shit like that. So yeah, like I said, that's why it's kind of sad, because I don't think none of the dudes typically are bad dudes, but the fucked up part is like, a lot of these guys will be doing consultations to men, and I'm like, who the fuck life is that fucking bad where you got to get a consultation from a dude with no game? Because even some of the stuff that they was pointing out, as far as like going on sugar baby websites and shit to find chicks. Mm-hmm. That to me, that was fraudulent, because I'm one of them people, man. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's a lot of chicks out here with bad behavior. So we call that shit out all day. But if you go into the bottom of the barrel, bitches, some chicks you shouldn't even be around, what I'm saying, from the jump, because we know how the behavior is. Then, man, you can't really complain about that. That'd be, for example, say like I'm going out and I'm talking about females all day, and I'm pointing out the bad behaviors, but I'm dating strippers and sugar babies, aka gold diggers and stuff like that. That's where I got issues with you, because it's just like your complaints are coming from your own fucked up behavior, because now your selection methods is off base. You got some insecurities, because that's why you're aligning with those type of chicks. So you lack confidence to go out there and get chicks that got their shit together. So that's where, the pushback has to happen and stuff.
Yeah, when I came up in this, a little bit before I even knew this whole movement called the red pill. I'm gonna give respect to respect and still shout out to AMS, but this is all Stan's fault. I blame Stan.
You said Stan? You blaming it on Stan?
Yeah, man. Stan got me suckered into like the red pill, man, and this was back. I remember it was back in like 2020 and 17. I remember Stan sent me like a video of AMS, and I didn't know who the guy was. I was like, oh, motivational black speaker. I just saw like a big bald black dude that was just opening his mouth wide. So I checked out some of his videos. First video I saw, I was like, okay, like he got some solid points. And then I started watching some more of his videos on my own, and he was talking about women and like fuck these hoes to sleep and all that, like take them down, fuck them to sleep. I was like, oh shit. I was like, fuck am I listening to? But then I got
talk about what's his name?
Alpha Male Strategies.
Honestly, I know I gave him pushback in one video, but it had nothing to do with a scandal. So I would say he's solid. Like he would be one that I'll say you could get good information from. So yeah, I'm not one of them people, man. Like even if I give somebody some pushback, I'm still gonna acknowledge. I'm like, man, it sounds like he's good with ladies and stuff. Like he's got game. Myron and them.
Yeah, but that's the point that I'm making. That's why I brought him up first, because
yeah, he's solid.
At that time, Salute Watts, when I was listening to him, the stuff he was saying made sense, because he wasn't talking about like trying to get money this and try to get money that in order for you to get women. It wasn't the end all be all. It was about, okay, yeah, money was important, but he broke it down like the reason why money is important, because if you want to live in a certain type of lifestyle for yourself, you want to bring a companion with you, it's a little bit easier to be comfortable for yourself. But you always had to have game. You always had to have some type of charisma. And so he was teaching guys how to actually have the confidence and not have that illusion where people say confidence comes from within, which he'll say is bullshit, because it's like, okay, well, where do you get the confidence from? You got to try to build yourself up to even be a confident dude to begin with. And it wasn't always about money. But fast forwarding things, right? Then you had other people that talked about different variations of how to get women. Like you had to get, that's when like the money started coming in. Where it's like, oh, you could be a lame duck, you could have a dad bod, you could be like the ugliest motherfucker in the world. But as long as you have this thing that's called money, you could pay for these hoes, man, and they'll fall in your lap and you could turn them to wives. And then that's when people started kind of get that false, like, type of advice, thinking that, okay, money is the root of all happiness. Like, it just solves things.
Yeah, so now definitely, man. That's like I say, the major issue I have with it, because I'm just one of them people, man. If I'm gonna sit there and I give somebody some consultations, I'm gonna charge them. I'm gonna practice what I preach, because that's the biggest component to all this shit as men. That's why they say be a man of your word and stuff. So it's just like, man, if you're telling guys like, hey man, avoid this, and you ain't got no discipline yourself and you're aligning with those type of women, then you're fraudulent. Because we're supposed to be men of action. That's the key component. If you ain't a man of action, then that's why you're fucked up to begin with. So hold on real quick. Marcus, he put a good comment up here. So from what they said, they just paid the sugar daddy website account, but not actually being sugar dads themselves. They were playing and finessing the setup of those sugar babies. But even then, because, the whole pitch where it was like it was Kevin Samuels, Fresh and Fit, because they all kind of like all hung out and was like pitching the same messages, like high value male. So it's like, if you're going to say like, you're going to separate yourself from the pack and be like, hey, we're high value males, give us y'all money because we want the consultations. We have this much insight to women. Then you really shouldn't be in those scandals if you have all that insight, you have all this knowledge and stuff, and then you shouldn't have to go to a sugar baby website, to get females to align with you, whatever you're planning on doing, because you should have abundance to a certain degree, because you have that knowledge and stuff. So it really don't go hand in hand with each other. Because like I said, if you were truly that, you had all these philosophies and theories and stuff that you could break down, then you should know to stay away from, because he had a scandal, the one with the Miss Cheeks, the girl that was like shitting in bags and was kind of claiming that she was pregnant. you see what I'm saying? You wouldn't be walking in too many scandals and stuff. And then, because even y'all boy Kevin Samuels, I had smoke for him too, because when he was doing his one show, I heard him say like he took a prostitute to one of his business functions and stuff. And he was like, well, yeah, I took her to the function and one of the other guys knew who she was and stuff. And I'm like, okay, if you a high value male, what the fuck you doing with a prostitute at one of your functions? You should have a bad chick that truly wants to be with you, that you don't have to break off no bread like that for. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, man, when y'all could be fooled, but dudes that truly are good with women and got game, they know this stuff is fraudulent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I do have to shout out to Game God Goldie. I know he talked about a little bit about Kevin Samuels, in no disrespectful manner, but he was talking about like how is it bragging rights to be a trick, to be tricking on these women.
And that's facts, man.
And Rufus Truth, if you're listening, hey, look, man, no shade or whatever, but look, they do say tricking ain't easy. You know what I mean? But some people got it. Other people will rather pass on that. I like having my women for free. But Marcus says, from what they said, it was part of finessing and learning not to get played or used by sugar babies only if you got it like that and meeting someone with prerequisites.
No, I would agree with, like, say they signed up, man, they ain't had no issues. I'd be like, man, that's a good tactic because they just showing dudes like the bad nature. But nah, what was the other one that just got caught up with the girl when they had a pregnancy D Fresh? He just had the scandal. Myron had like 3 and shit. So that's what I'm saying. So they're getting finessed. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like the reverse effect. What you're saying, Marcus, is happening. Is like they're the ones actually getting finessed out of this whole thing. So that's what I'm saying for like so-called gurus and people that have knowledge, man. You can't be this bad with women if this is what you pitching. But I see what Marcus is saying. Yeah, if they was like doing it for that purpose and trying to show you how not to get finessed, then yeah. But shit, they the ones getting played out here. Homegirl came from China. She couldn't even speak English, and she was like finessing Fresh.
Damn. Hey, you know what? And that's funny too, man, because Fresh is the one, right? Who, and I know I'm about to go in harsh on Fresh, right? Because he's an ugly motherfucker, right? He looked like one of those like Goombas that you could step on from Mario Brothers. But this dude is the main one that be talking about. You got to have all this game, and it's all charisma and stuff. But it's like, dude, like Fresh is like, it's like one of the main guys that takes so many L's, and he's still taking L's. There was like even a video, I don't even know who the hell the streamer was, right? But he was reacting to another streamer that was just bashing on Fresh. That was talking about like how he like, try to teach guys like how to talk to women. And so when he does like certain cold approaches on the stream, like the conversation is just awful. Like the dude literally starts off as like, so what do you see in me? What do you like about me? You start off with already trying to get the person's like validation and approval of you. And that's just not how it works.
But see, that's the issue with a lot of this stuff, man. Because I mean, they built themselves up, man. So man, had a good platform. They were working on themselves in certain components. But I think, man, when some men probably wasn't the most successful with women, and now they got this like notoriety, I think, like you said, they start trying to get the validation from other men versus like, you know what, man, let me go out here and get a female that likes me. They want the baddest chick so they can like damn near show off in front of everybody else. So even if that female is just there to use them, and it's blatant, you could tell by the body language a lot of times. Like if you know what you're looking for, what the spot, those females are just coming up there like, okay, here's a lick. I'm gonna come here and get this bread and stuff. But them dudes just want the arm candy so much so they could post it on Instagram. They could take these photo ops and be like, oh, see, I got all these bad chicks. Meanwhile, them chicks is eating. You know, they they munching on them wallets and stuff. So it's almost like since they want so much validation and bragging rights for other men, they put themselves in bad spots. So we see it just not even with Fresh and Fit. Look at Shannon Sharp. Who was the last? There was another guy that been getting cleaned out. So we seeing this play it out. Diddy, he's a big one. You know, trying to have all the beautiful women, and you know now they filing allegations and stuff. So that's what I was like telling dudes a while ago. I'm like, man, y'all keep inviting these type of females in your aura that really don't like you, and they already got that gold digger mindset. The new hustle is the allegations. So we seeing that play out. So that's why this shit is dangerous. That's why I was telling them a long time ago. I'm like, man, when you pedestalize women, you let your defenses and your guards down. So now you inviting anybody just because they're pretty. So as soon as, you know, eventually, people don't want to be tricks for the rest of their life, because a lot of times tricks despise the position they put themselves in. So eventually they're going to want to cut off the money supply for like a chick that don't really like them, because they know the vibe is there. So once that happens, that's when the females is like what happened to Shannon Sharp. Like, okay, you don't want to give me no more money? Bet. Yeah, you know, they recorded calls with them, doing all that shit, taking notes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's an easy playbook. And that's what I'm saying. So when people pedestalize and that's their philosophy, man, they wind up in this state. Or, you know, they do get married. Like, what is it, Steven Browder, whatever the fuck his name is. Thinking they're traditional, and then females are like, nah, I want half. Give me that money and stuff. So it just don't end well, man.
Yeah.
So like with Myron and them, if they was actually just on some shit instead of trying to press everybody and was just like, man, let me just get a chick that rock with me, man, that's here for the right reasons, they'll do good. But it's just like, nah, I gotta have the baddest chick, so I gotta come out here and talk shit and stun on people, and that's where they end up getting wiped out.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Let's jump in the video though, man.
Yeah, before I jump in the video, right, I'm just gonna say one thing, man. Look, if you're a trick, just remember, tricks get tricked, okay? And I do want to show one reference to a video that we did, like, you know, when we was talking about Fresh and Fit.
Yeah, that's the chick right there. That's the one that got fresh.
I forgot her name or whatever, right? But yeah, we did this like a damn near like a year ago, I believe. And I remember, mark those words, I was like, damn, we're gonna get Myron next. You know, I was waiting for like, you hear like, him fuck something up or whatever, like he usually do. But what we're gonna play, man, is definitely bigger than Fresh having a pregnancy scare. So,
but see, that's why I'm saying this is the sad shit. Cause like, man, when I used to call this stuff out back in the day,
yeah.
And I was just like, hey, man, the issue, because people was asking me, they're like, man, why you got the issue with the red pill? I'm like, first of all, the people that's like in the forefront, man, I was just like, that'd be like joining the gang and the gang leader got robbed and beat up by everybody. You can't join no gang like that where the leader is like a punk. And so, with the red pill, it's just like, man, when people are not holding to that standard of like leading by example, not being actionable, they lack the discipline, and they messing with the females they're pointing out to you not to mess with, and they getting finessed by them. That's where I was like, man, you can't be in no movement like that. And then secondary, like with me, it's just like I was telling people, I'm like, no man should ever attach labels to them. And what I mean by that is like, man, don't join no philosophy. You want like adjectives and verbs mentioned with you, like, hey, M3, he's a knowledgeable, he's a wise man. You don't want to be like, oh, M3 is red pill. Because what happens with that is, man, you box yourself in. You box in your way of thinking. So now you only want to hear stuff from like red pill people versus like getting information from knowledgeable people. So I don't care like who's under what movement. I could listen to somebody. I'm like, damn, son got game over there. I like what he's saying. Oh, so-and-so, he's knowledgeable. So I don't box myself in just by a movement and shit like that. And I think that's where a lot of people end up getting conned and stuff, because they just will follow a movement and they're just like, oh, I'm only going to listen to this stuff, and they don't allow themselves room for growth and stuff. And that's how people get kind of trapped in their way of thinking. So that was the second part, like I said. And then I like what you were saying as far as tricking, because a lot of people are always like, man, why y'all got issues with tricking and stuff? Tricking is the lowest form of a male. And here's why, man. I damn near think like if you a trick, you got mental illness. I think tricking is a mental illness. I'm just gonna put it out there like that. And here's why. Because the same female that you're tricking money on, she will be fucking with the dude at Foot Locker. He ain't spending no bread. And she's giving him way better treatment than you. And you sitting over here spending your hard-earned money on her. And she has that other relationship going on. So you don't put yourself in an inferior position because you lack self-esteem. You lack confidence. So that's the issue with it. So it's just like, hell, if you put yourself in an inferior position, she knows you're putting yourself in an inferior position. Hell, who's going to respect you at that point if that's the stance you take in life and you were willing to put yourself in that position in life? So that's why tricking is bad. So everybody's trying to redefine it because they might be in a trick stance. Well, no, everybody's got to do it. Like, no, the fuck they don't. Some people, they go get people that actually like them. They ain't pedestalizing the looks and stuff like that. They ain't infatuated. So we got a lot of people trying to remix shit because, they fall in that territory. But nah, it's an inferior position. You a trick. You know what? That's why y'all keep getting mocked by these like gold diggers out here. Y'all keep getting finessed. And it's a cyclical cycle, man. You can't break it unless you stop tricking. So shout out to M3 on that. Hell nah. We applying pressure over here.
Exactly, man. All right, but yeah, man, I just wanted to show that little part.
Yeah, but I forgot that was like a year ago. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, man. They got mad scandals, man, for some dudes that. Because when I first heard them, I was like, man, they spitting. I was like, man, damn, they got a good show. I like, they trying to help guys out. But man, when you see certain things play out, man, and certain, like I said, philosophies don't line up. Because even Kevin Samuels, I was like, damn, man, dude, I like the way how he was dressing up, presenting that. But when I heard that whole prostitute story and stuff like that, that's why I was just like, ain't no man that's high value and got options, man, should be aligning with no taking no prostitute, no business function. So when he pitched that story, that's when I was like, hey, and I make no videos of them because I just know things come off it. Everybody's gonna be like, oh, you're hating. Because, a lot of people just don't got no game. So they're, like I said, they're just going to align with any movement. So I just left it alone. But I mean, that's just the reality.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Her name was
Daisy Fit. That's right.
Yeah. And he said,
she could say like, all she could say in English was like Gucci, Versace, and Fendi.
Right. No, we just
like fresh pay. That was it. She understood like 2 sentences in English.
It's funny, man, when you getting tricked by a foreigner, man, or out tricked by a foreigner. But hey, man, I digress, man. Like, she was supposed to be this beautiful, submissive type of BBL type of woman, That
she was cute though, man. I give, man, they grabbed some cute girls, but that's what I'm saying. It's just like, even though you want to show them off and. Man, if the chick ain't with you, man, it's an L. So it's like, man, you can show me all the photos of a female. I can tell by how she treats you, the body language that she ain't fucking with you like that. So I think some guys, man, they just don't understand. It's like, man, you better off with the 6 that actually truly likes you, the 5 and the 6, man. I would give you more kudos. Like, damn, he got a girl that she's all into him. But like I said, it's that validation from other men, man. Men want that arm candy so they could like walk around with her, but as soon as the door closed, they getting disrespected. So yeah, fuck that. Give me the 5. I'll take the 5 all day. I ain't gotta press none of you motherfuckers.
I feel you.
But yeah, let's get in that video, man.
Yeah, for sure though. Oh, and the wonderful acts of fair use. Oops.
Shout out to O'Shea. O'Shea be on their neck like a bow tie. O'Shea said, fuck it. So, O'Shea ain't letting up. I don't know what happened. O'Shea like, look, I'm firing up. Yeah. O'Shea DM me if we got beef, dog. We might need to talk before you start. But now, I mean, hey, you misstep. You gotta take the smoke, man. If y'all catch me out here on some fraudulent shit, man, go in. Don't spare me. So ain't none of us a brother afraid, but you put yourself out here, you a guru and shit, man. You better, like I said, you better make sure you fall in line with that. You got the discipline. So yeah, the fact that they keep landing in shit, man, you got no choice but to make a video and kind of post it. Hopefully they change though, man, because they can change.
I mean, shit, man. Like it's like I said, it's been like a year since we like last talked about them, and sh- shit still be happening for them, man. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's go ahead, man. We're gonna continue this video, man. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson, man. Brother always be covering like the good details about these guys. So let's go ahead and give him a round of applause for that one. But anyways, let's go ahead and play this out of fair use.
In the last 2 years, we got a chance to see a different side of Myron that we've never seen before. Don't get me wrong, he still goes hard on the left and on women, but there was a one special lady in his life that really took his heart, and her name was Angie, also known as Angelica. And once he fell in love with her, he was telling anybody who would listen how great of a girl she was.
I'm not sneaking around in my own house. My girl, my girl don't talk back to me. Like this whole like situation, argue. There's no arguments. This is how it is. She packs my condoms when I travel.
Huh?
That's how real it is.
Stop the cap.
Oh Lord. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. And men, I know it seems cool where y'all want to, it's this thing I see in the internet, man, when I first came on, and it's like guys want to disrespect their chick, especially the one that they like trying to lock down to try to prove to other guys that they got this like authority in the household. And man, if you with somebody that you truly like and they there for the right reasons, man, you ain't supposed to disrespect your lady in public to try to get one up on some other guys, man. You should still be stoic and make sure you respect that individual. So like he tried to point out like, oh, she's packing my condoms. Well, obviously she was packing them motherfuckers for herself too. When she was rollerblading with that one guy and shit. And even she might have liked him at first, was probably actually there for the right reason. But it's like, man, when you do that public stuff and you're trying to be over the top, trying to, like I said, show this level of masculinity to other people, man, you could tell that's fraudulent. Because like dudes that truly have game, man, they understand, man, you don't talk about your stuff out in public. Let people think you're lame. Like I ain't got shit to prove to nobody. Things I did in the past, man, I leave it in the past. And I would never disrespect my female in public like that. Because even if I had a lifestyle like that, I'm really like, nah, I don't do that type of stuff. Shit. Because I don't want to put them in a position where they got to play offense. So like in that girl, he put her on offense. That's what happened. Where he was like, oh yeah, she's packing my condoms for me. So she's probably like, damn, she might have her family calling her up like, man, we just watched the video, man. What? He's doing all this? Get some fucking pride. So people going to be in her ear at that point. So, I mean, it's just a stupid move, man. Just to, like you were saying before, trying to get that validation from other guys and shit. So yeah, and once you disrespect somebody, they mentally checking out. So she's just like, at that point, she's like, I'm cashing out. I'm taking this sucker for a ride. Like, yeah, I need more money, Myron. Pay for this now, Myron. They racking up the expenses because in their mind, they're like, this is on limited time. I'm getting up out of here.
Yeah.
So they running up the accounts. So that's where a lot of guys don't understand. That's why they end up getting finessed because they trying to, like I said, just brag so much. They just trying to use them as arm candy. So them females like, okay, I can read the vibe. This motherfucker trying to embarrass me. So, I'm going to get him back. So yeah, you never want to put a female on offense like that. That's novice. That's why I'm saying this is rookie shit. This is high school shit, honestly.
Yeah, like it's definitely, that's definitely ain't player for sure. But I will say this though, right? I will. Only thing I would disagree is that like I don't think like she probably liked him for a certain extent, but honestly,
you said she wasn't fucking with him from the jump, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it like this. Look, in reality, because I think she's a foreigner, so I don't even think she's like a United States citizen. So she met Myron. I feel like she only did it to get a green card, and hopes to maybe get a green card. But and Myron was taking care of her. He was paying her rent. He was paying all these expenses like for her. So again, he was super tricky.
That elite tricking shit.
Exactly. And so since you already knew, like, okay, he a millionaire and he got the Fresh and Fit podcast, he's like, all right, well, look, maybe he's probably like a cool guy, like behind the scenes or whatever. So let me just try to get to know him while I'm trying to hurry up and get this green card. Plus, he's paying for my expenses. Why not? She thinks she's getting the best of both worlds. Until she really realized, like, damn, man, like, this dude, like, is super lame. So she'll honestly, she probably was like, hey, fuck it, right? You know, I don't even care if they deport me back to, like, Venezuela. You know, hey,
She said she ran the ice. She was like, look, get me away from this motherfucker. You said she self-deported. What did Trump say? Hey, y'all come over here and self-deport. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I mean, just like you said, even if somebody didn't like them, I think if you take care of them, they might show you a level of respect. But I mean, when you going out there and you just trying to belittle somebody, you know, on a public show like that, because, man, they got mad viewers. And, you know, there's females also around, too. So it's like, man, when you start embarrassing somebody, man, they mentally checking out. So once she probably started seeing some of this stuff, how he's talking about it, trying to, you know, get that fake bravado, that's when she was like, okay, charge it to the game. I got you. You know, okay, I'm going to pack them condoms in your thing, but I got a box in my bag, too. And then a lot of times in these, like, trick arrangements, I know a lot of guys, man, they feel like, you know, the female is allowing them to do it because she really likes them. But a lot of them females, man, if you listen to them females talk, especially after they get in a relationship, they low key, they're like, if female that's using a guy that's in there for the money like that, they love when dudes sleep with other women because they're like, man, a little low key, they kind of disgusted letting that motherfucker climb on them. So they're like, man, I hope he only wants to hit it probably once a week. I hope he has girlfriends, so I ain't even gotta really do that. Just send me my bread. So that's the flip side of it. So a lot of times when females, they're like, oh yeah, I'll pack your condoms, nigga, get you about 4 or 5 side chicks. Because low key, they just want to cash out. They don't want to do that shit with you because literally they probably have somebody on the side that they really desire. That's the dude that's probably, you know, when they take them to them high class restaurants, that's the dude that's eating the leftovers and shit. That motherfucker probably got a fresh and fit shirt on while he's smashing it.
Yeah.
Paying for nothing and shit. So nah, man, them chicks be liking those arrangements. Some of them that's already on that 3 or 4 that have that mindset, them sugar babies and shit. They like, hey, get all the girlfriends you need. Just, hey, have my bread, bitch. They on that pimp shit.
Right. So I guess at this point, man, like, you know, here's you know, sugar baby subscription or girlfriend subscription probably ran out because, hey, as soon as we found, like, you know, true love or some other dude that is not making as much as Myron is, but, you know, but hey, he likes to role play, he likes to have fun. She did not hesitate to post him up on social media.
Yeah, we gotta let's get, because yeah, I'm gonna get, there's a couple points in that one point out once we get to that part.
All right, let's go. For use.
Sorry for her. Yeah, and here's the thing. No.
I
She lives
do.
a great life, but she's a beautiful girl. She's hotter than all the girls here. No offense.
Boy. And here's the thing. He didn't mind telling you how he
She
could
gave
do
him the forehead
everything in the
kiss.
relationship that he wanted to do while she had to stay there. But wait, there's more.
You know who's smart? My girlfriend is smart, man. Don DeMarco friend girlfriend.
Oh, he does have a girlfriend.
Yes, I do. And the thing is that, right, we don't argue. I do what the fuck I want to do. She's loyal to me. It's monogamous on her end, open on my end. You know where she's at right now? She's hanging out with my parents up in Connecticut.
He also loved to talk about the fact that he could sleep with whoever he wants, and she is monogamous. I mean, she's a very pretty girl, so it seemed like he really had it on lock, right?
The forehead kiss.
Rewind! It all started May 13th. Myron goes to New York City to cover the Diddy trial, and guess who comes with him? Angie. And everything is okay. They're hanging out. And while they're hanging out, something happens out of the blue.
Solo cast tomorrow? Yeah, Angie won't be here, unfortunately. I wish she was here, but she's got to leave.
Now, Angie can't stay because she has a rollerblading event. Now, she's a very, very serious rollerblader and loves it a lot. And look at what she posts. Get ready. Festival of the Year on Wheels is coming and you can't miss it. Come by bike, roller skates, skateboard, and whatever you like. The most important thing is that you live this weekend full of magic, incredible routes, and pure positive energy. So 17th and 18th of May, in Orlando. So it appears that Myron's girlfriend, who is faithful to him and will never sleep with anybody else, will be there. And also they're going to be supporting him in fighting breast cancer. Seems like the perfect girlfriend to me, right? Damn. Now this photo is her at the event. The getaway is there, and Angie seems to be just hanging out with some friends. Now, all of these friends seem to be Hispanic, but then there is something interesting in the photo that we'll come back to later.
Pause real quick. Yeah,
Now,
I think it's that
Myron is
dude
in
that was
his
on the
phone,
left.
okay? Their relationship died.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a whole Spanish rollerblade team, boy. They what was that movie with the bobsledding, Cool Runnings and shit? Yeah. Yeah, she had that planned out. That's why I told you, man. She was like, look, she gave that nigga the forehead kiss. Cause you know that's how you do like a cousin or aunt and shit. So she was plotting her escape. She was like, all right, this motherfucker talk about packing the condoms. So yeah, she put the condoms in there. She was like, look, I gotta make my escape. I'm going to this rollerblade event. It's a wrap. So yeah, nah, you go back to it. I thought you was gonna stop on the picture, but I think the dude to the left, that was the one that down the line she could be rollerblading with.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
actually,
them motherfuckers got matching outfits. So she in love with this motherfucker.
Yeah, actually, it's the dude to our right. That's the dude that she's with. The one that got the little bandana on.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the other one.
No. Which at first I was like, this dude look kind of sweet a little bit, right? But maybe that's probably because like the tie-dye rainbow like outfit or whatever shirts.
Yeah, they got the lamest out. But look how far, man. This is like the definition of what's the opposite of not being masculine? Because I mean, man, my man got the matching rollerblade outfit.
Yeah.
So not only did she leave you for a broke motherfucker, she left you for a dude that's like the epitome of like weakness. So damn, that's where the double whammy comes. It's like, damn. Can you imagine, man? Just think about it. Y'all walk with me real quick. You can't even retain a chick that you paying all her bills and shit. Man, because paying for somebody's bills, that's like the easiest game. Like, that's damn near brainless. So you could get a retarded dude to do that stuff. So it's like, if you can't even like keep a chick and you paying her bills, man, your game is motherfucking awful. She was like you said, she was like, damn man, I'm going to ICE. I'm self-deporting. Fuck this.
Like,
so yeah, we can keep going. I just wanted to check. Yeah, this is fucked up. They got the matching outfits. I'll leave my wife if she came up and was like, hey, we're gonna put on these matching, let's go rollerblade and let's put on these matching shirts, rainbow shirts. I'd be like, listen, where you want me to send this paperwork? Ain't no way in hell.
I'm still like
immediate divorce, dog. I'll be like, look, where you want me to send this paperwork at?
Damn.
M3, come on, man. Would you rock this rollerblading?
Nah, I'll go out for rollerblading, but damn the fucking outfit though. Like,
so your girl was like, hey, M3, man, I'm into this rollerblading stuff, man. I got us matching shirts. You gonna rock the shirt?
Hell to the fucking no, bro. Not like that. I'd be like, hey man, like you need to get my. Matter of fact, just because you put that in my thought, hey, if my own girl ever was like, hey, like you know, I want us like to match or whatever, and I got an idea, I'm like, hold on, before you buy anything, you gotta seek my approval first. I gotta approve these shirts, just to be proactive, because reactive is gonna be a bitch, you know.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you know this dude that's in this photo, he was angling for the coochie for like a good year. He was in that friend zone. This dude probably joined the rollerblading team because of her. Now he rocking a shirt. So this wasn't one of those things where like she just got with him right after they broke up. You know, typically like a female, if she jumps into something, especially if it's somebody like within proximity, they was having those relations prior to that. You got to date it back by like 6 to 8 months for that emotional buildup for her to just jump off that quick. So yeah, nah, he was dropping those hints, and he was that guy like, I can't believe Myron talks about you like this. he was that nigga. I can't believe he said that. I watched Fresh and Fit the other day, and he said, you packed the condoms. Why do you tolerate this behavior?
Right,
so yeah, that was going on for about 6 months. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where when Myron was talking all that shit, she's like, okay, I'm gonna get my payback. I got my shit, my guy lined up. I'm gonna pull him out the friend zone. I'm gonna get his ass a matching shirt.
But you know what's crazy, Jerk, though? What if about all the time, right? Like, that was like her side nigga, right? And now at that point, he just got his promotion. He probably was tapping those cheeks like the whole time without Myron even knowing it.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, the way he was talking greasy. Because, I mean, think about it, man. If she moved on to somebody that, like, was aligned with her hobby,
yeah,
they was having sidebar conversations. Even
exactly.
if you want to go there and be like, okay, they wasn't doing nothing, but they was having inappropriate conversations. That's why she jumped off to somebody that close that quick. That's how, you know what I'm saying? So it's right there. Because even, I know we're going to get to the point where they're rollerblading and they look like they on rollerblading on top the Titanic, but on rollerblades and shit with the close love. Yeah, they was having those conversations way before they broke up, when she was messing with Myron.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let me go ahead and continue this video because it gets deeper.
Later. Now, Myron is in his home, okay? Their relationship dynamic may have changed because Myron is no longer the same Myron that she probably met when Fresh and Fit podcast were making a lot of money. Fresh and Fit, I believe, are still a podcast, but, you know, Myron's doing his own individual thing and Fresh is doing his own individual thing. So in order for Myron to keep up and make money and do things, he's working a lot harder now. And so he's arguing with people on the streets and things like that. And he's streaming a whole lot. And, well, he mentioned something on June 13th that's pretty interesting.
I take that seriously, guys. And I've given up my social life to do so. I've been sitting inside. The only time I go outside, you guys want to know the truth? The painful truth? I only really go outside when I do the debates, man. If I'm be honest with you, bro. Like, I literally only go outside to do the debates. I barely leave my building. Because you guys know me, I'll work, bro. I'll give up my social life. I don't go. You know? Angie's very understanding. She takes Frank whenever I need him. She helps me with groceries. So Angie's very understanding. I haven't seen her in a bit. I'm not going to lie to you guys. She actually came by real quick when I was doing the table.
Now, this is a very interesting clip because he's saying that, you know, she's supportive. I haven't really seen her in a long time. She comes by and gives me food and groceries and things like that. But, you know, hey, it's, you know, things are kind of different now. All right. Then he goes on to Anton Daniels' show and he admits this just on June 24th.
When do you have time for a relationship?
You know, as of recently, man, it's been tough, bro. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's been tough as of recently, especially the past year.
Most of the people that I know that are very successful, they don't focus on the relationship as much as they focus on what they feel like is necessary for them to do to win.
Oh yeah, I'd be lying to you if I told you that my relationship was awesome and all. No, man, like my social life, I 100% transparent, gone, cooked, finito.
Now he's saying his social life
Hit pause, though.
cooked. So, it's interesting because your girlfriend is somebody.
I mean, I would give him credit, man, because he does work hard, you know, and stuff. So that's what I'm saying, man. If he just stayed on his craft instead of trying to be over the top, and I'm not even talking about the debate and stuff. I think that's where he should focus on, because he does some good debates and stuff, and he knows how to trigger people, which is good for views and stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as the relationship shit, it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, man, you can't be embarrassing people you with and thinking they gonna stick around. That's dumb. But I do want to say, because I forgot, Anton did go to Fresh and Fit. We covered that. Anton, you gotta get this nigga in the bag chasers. Sit my homie down, give him some consultations, get him some game and stuff, man. You gotta get him right, Anton. Help him out.
Yeah, definitely. Bro needs some guidance for sure. Like, here's the thing, right? If I'm gonna say all this like negative stuff about like Myron, I'm not gonna say Fresh or Fit podcast because I'm like then that means I'm including that bum Walter Fit, Fresh or whatever.
Is that his name, Walter?
Yeah.
I think he said
That
Walter.
name sounds. But I have to give Myron credit, man. Like, he's very educated. He brings in like certain guests that come in like and they be talking about some really in depth like talks about finances, real estate properties, how to leverage like your credit cards, like like your debt to income ratio. So when you have like those type of talks, you really are helping people to like really get into that bag and make money, especially talking about crypto and all that. I think that's like kind of like the strong part of Fresh and Fit. It just the problem is that like okay, your podcast needs women in order to grasp the attention of your viewers. And I'm just going to say this, like unfortunately, like your viewers are just as retarded and simple-minded as the way how Fresh and Fit conduct themselves when it comes to women. The majority of them that tune in to learn about women or only just to see these women, they have no game at all. There was a time like when there was like an OnlyFans model came in and all these guys were just bashing her. But after when she left from Fresh and Fit podcast, she proved a point that that those same subscribers that was talking shit about her subscribed to her OnlyFans. And that's a reflection, man, of like how Fresh and Fit like actually conduct themselves. Unfortunately, these guys, they don't know nothing about women. But they try to teach you about women because they feel like, well, they have some type of notoriety. They think they have some type of game. But no, you just have like a lot of money off of YouTube. Well, at the time it was YouTube. And so you use that money to leverage, right, your business to bring some of these hoes into it. But to be honest with you, like, you really can't find no one better. Like, that could, or you could, but the way how, like, their attitude is like, you drive those people away. So, unfortunately, they need serious counseling. They need, like, a mentor. Well, I'll say not counseling, but mentorship. They need some really in-depth mentorship by people, right? Who could really teach them how to, like, really talk to women. Who could teach them how to move in a certain pace and not be all emotional, like, when somebody, like, try, like, to put them on blast. That's just my opinion to it.
Yeah, no, I don't think they would struggle. Like, well, Fresh is gonna struggle. Then he got to pay. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. But I think Myron, if he would like calm it down, like trying to embarrass the chick, and he would just got like because man, he could get a cute chick, but he's a lot of dudes, like I said, they're trying to aim for like the baddest. So it's just like, man, get you the cute chick that's really into you, man, likes what you're doing, likes the ambition, the work ethic, and he'll be all right. And stop worrying about like trying to impress everybody, man. And because like with me, man, when I came on the scene, man, I'm like, man, my wife works, she an executive, she's smart. Everybody was like, oh, they just sit at the house and make a sandwich. I'm like, that's dumb as fuck. Why would you, as a smart person, want another dumb motherfucker by you? That's just putting clothes in the laundry and shit. That you don't reduce your chick down to the same stuff like a retarded chick could do. So I'm like, man, if you got a smart chick, that's a reflection of you. But since a lot of guys are insecure and shit, they look at it like, oh, I gotta impress everybody else. So I gotta say all this shit that I think is macho, but it's actually dumb. Cause like I said, your female's a reflection of you. So you got her at the house doing minimal stuff, then you're probably not the best leader and stuff like that. So guys they're not really spitting this stuff right. So that's why I'm like, nah, I want smart women around me. We both gonna excel. We both gonna do our thing, and we both show mutual respect because we want women to respect us. But it needs to go both ways. You know what I'm saying? So when you sitting there, you're doing everything you can to embarrass somebody. It's like it's gonna come back around because women will sign up. That's where guys don't. I always tell them, I'm like, hey, they're gonna come and sign up for the money. initially for the relationship. Oh, think about it. Adam 22. Good example where, oh, I want more women. What did Lena do? Lena was like, you know what? You can have all the women you want. He's filming videos. He's living his life. Everybody's looking at it. Damn.
Yeah.
He's the man. Lena was like, okay, my turn. She got the mandingo. You know what I'm saying? she got homeboy and hurt his heart and shit. So they're gonna come back for their pound of flesh. That's what I'm saying, man. You might as well like if you really like somebody and you want to make a wifey, man, you can't sit out there and do that. Now, if you was just like, this is a jump off, this is just a fling type thing, that yeah, you could treat them bad and all that, but you can't be the wifey doing all this stuff and thinking that they're gonna come back with a pound of flesh, man. Especially when they either get married, they have a kid with you. That's when you can't really walk away and you locked in at that point. You don't put your like last name on them. That's what they can be like, oh yeah, hey, you know how you slept with them 20 chicks? I'm about to go get mine now. That's where the dudes be submitting. They be like, oh fuck. So now they got to go and pretend like they into it. You see Adam 22, his soul was crushed, but he's got to pretend like he likes this shit. So yeah, nah, it just ain't worth it, man. You can't have it all. I know everybody wants to pitch that shit on the internet. That's why I was always giving pushback. I was like, yeah, I keep acting like you can have all these women and that chick ain't gonna charge you on the back end. It don't work like that. Either the only way you do it, if a chick really don't like you and she's fucking other people, or you tricking. You got to pay for all her bills and stuff. That's the only two dynamics that shit gonna work. Every guy's gonna pitch it like, oh no, I got it like this. Give them some time, and that female's gonna come back for her cash out.
Right.
So either A, she go fuck somebody else, or she go do like Angie, like I'm out of here.
Right. And shouts to Big Stan. He was like,
what's good, Stan? Yeah, Adam. Yeah, Jason Love. That was that cat's name. Yeah.
Damn, did we put Adam 22 at the Simple Year Awards from last year?
Yeah, he was up there. He was on the list. But that's prime example. Like I said, he was living life. You remember at first, he had the videos going. His wife was just on there, like messing with the other chick. But then she came around after they had the kids. She was like, all right, this nigga's locked in now. So hey, guess what? she got the black dude on there. She was like, I'm a disrespect him like a motherfucker. So.
God, dude, yeah, that's crazy. He said that 22 is the number one spot. You know, well, we'll see though, man. Like, but you know, we still got, you know, like our little Travis Hunters and stuff, right? So
yeah. We got to hash out the list. It's still early in the year. We still got a couple months to see who gonna land out on top.
Yeah, you know, we're still accepting like new simp applicants. You know what I mean? So we have this one simp like who married this woman who had like, what was it? I think she had 8 kids, and then he gave her a ninth child. And yeah, so.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He done for her. But yeah, let's go back to the video, man, so we can continue.
Somebody who likes to get outdoors, she's a rollerblader, but you're just in the house all day, arguing with people on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, and you're just talking about, you know, everybody else instead of paying attention to the woman that you say is one of the best people you've ever met in your life. That's interesting for a man that praises this woman for being pretty much the best thing that's ever happened to him. I mean, he spends so much time talking about everybody else's woman, but his woman is perfect because, well, this is his first real girlfriend. But then it gets worse.
Do you have a missus? Do you have a girl?
That's irrelevant to the question.
No, like I just don't know.
I'm asking you.
I want to get to know you.
That's irrelevant. We're having an objective discussion. Women that are sex workers.
Do you have a wife? Do you have a girlfriend? That's what I thought.
What does that have to do with anything?
Exactly. Like, it just means like you can't even get it yourself. So like you are telling me I can't. Like, what's that? I don't get that.
I want to know your argument first because that is like crazy, bro. Don't you have like a girlfriend or like a wife or something? Like somebody you appreciate?
All right, bro. We went over this a million times. Somebody else, because I don't want to.
You really gonna do
the
that,
same
bro?
argument again? Yeah. Somebody else.
So now in these debates,
The
Myron
motherfuckers applying pressure out there, huh?
He's been asked pretty much like 3 times about his relationship status. He deflects when asked about these relationship statuses, which is interesting because this is the same guy that was just telling all of us, look, she's the best chick I ever had. She packs my condoms. She's hanging out with my mom. Like, this is not our words. This is Myron's words. He's going around telling lady, anybody will listen that this is what is going on. But now he's refusing to answer these particular questions. But wait a minute. There's more.
And I'm telling you guys, this is a single guy. Like, I even know at some point, I'm like, damn, I need a family. Like, bro, I'm even telling you this as a single guy. Anyone that's sitting there saying, oh, I prefer friends and close friends and career, get the out of here, bro. Everybody wants a family. Even the most career-oriented want a family, bro. As when I say single, I mean not married. Retards. Holy, bro.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the f you think you is?
Now, this is June 30th. He accidentally says he's single, but he wants a family. He wants all of this, but now he's single. He tries to clear it up, but nah, bruh, no cigar. You said you're single, but doesn't really seem like you're single. But hold on, it gets worse.
Ooh, Myron, who's Angie?
You know what, man? This is crazy, bro.
Well,
What did
with,
Angie say?
This is
I said, Myron, are you still with Angie?
Oh.
this is absolutely nuts that women don't.
Got him.
On August the 4th, somebody asked Myron, what's going on with your relationship with Angie? And he refuses to answer the question. He's not saying anything. He's deflecting. He even gives you that little shaky nod thing going on, right? So
Myron upset.
All of a sudden, you haven't seen Angie. He won't even talk about her anymore. And now all of a sudden he's single, but he's not single. But what's going on?
Let me pause real quick.
Did she take the dog?
The small little dog?
Yeah, there was a dog in that last frame. I was like, did Angie take the dog too? That'd be fucked up if she took the dog, Frank. I think that's what he...
Let me see.
You haven't seen Angie. He won't even talk about her anymore.
No, he still had a dog, that big dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know,
I was
just
like, damn, if she took the dog, I'd be like, that's fucked up. Angie's like, you know what? I'm taking a dog too, motherfucker.
Hey, I think he took Cam Simmons' advice, like, like grab a dog, buy a dog, and die alone or something. Well, he sure hold on to his dog though. So, no, she didn't take the dog. Yeah, I almost lost my point, but no, it was something I was gonna say about, but at that particular point, right? So, in Myra's case, right? Oh, I need to remove the Instagram real quick. Hold on for a second.
Damn, that forehead kiss is kind of ill though, man. That remind me, what was that movie, Best Man or something like that, where Tate Diggs was always kissing bitches on the forehead?
Yeah. You can tell by the look of her eyes, like she was already just done. The hair, the glasses. I'm like, she did not have the glow up until like she met the rollerblading construction worker. Now all of a sudden,
she was in a lounge gear, but shit, I'm telling you, man, that forehead kiss, that's like some showsmanship. Like, all right, where's my check at? I'm doing enough of the public stuff. Like, hand me my bread.
Yeah. Now, what I was gonna say was that, like, it's funny, man, how you let like one of like the people in the chat, like, like rile them up like that, and it reminds me of, which probably like in the next couple of segments we'll probably like talk about this person, but he had like an MMA background and he was like doing like wrestling for a minute. I can't remember his name, Rampage, or I think Rampage Jackson is like the dad, but his son's name is something. I can't remember the son's name, but it was like a light little situation, right? And I'm just going to fast forward short. Like, he puts this dude like in the hospital because like dude thought like dude was just playing with him. He thought he was going by script, and dude took it too far. But what drove him over the edge? He was live streaming, and the people like from his Twitch was hyping him up, telling him like to like get his payback. Then his dad was like in the chat calling his own son a bitch or whatever. It was crazy. I when I find a video, I'll show it to you.
No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was a big story, but yeah, it was pretty much. Yeah, I think because they were like, "Oh, he's not as good as his father," so it was the pressure, and then, like you said, people in the comments was like mentioning stuff, so he reacted and got himself in some trouble.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah, man, this is the issue with a lot of people. It's like, man, you can't throw shots at people because he's an antagonist. I like him for it, man. You know, myself, I talk shit, but if I get myself into a situation and people cover it and I'm out here, man, I gotta just take the smoke. So it's just like, man, instead of me getting mad at people and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna crack jokes with them. Be like, yeah, you know what? I fucked up. I made some stupid moves, man. You know what? I need to, yeah, get at me, you know, and it'll blow over. But instead, when people start reacting and shit, man, they gonna keep coming, like you said, until you, like in their cases, man, they jump off the edge because of, you know, the people getting at them. They can't handle it. So nah, you gotta suck it up. You gotta get thick skin, man.
Yeah, real talk. But hey, people could dish out, but they just can't take it.
Yeah, you can't be on here like talking because like I said, he's an antagonist, man. So you gotta suck that up. But I could, man, I understand that he's probably tired of talking about it. But that's what I'm saying, man. When you put yourself in a guru status and you doing consultations, man, your lifestyle gotta line up. Because when it don't, that people are gonna call you out, and rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's where the people, it's like they don't want the smoke, but you know, they wanted that status and stuff. So it's like, man, once you cross that line and guru consultations and you have them mishaps, man, you fair game. Cause you didn't have to do none of that shit. That's why I said, man, if I go out here and I'm like, look, y'all come to me for these consultations, I put money on it. You ain't gonna catch me on no scandals. Because I just make sure I never want to be eating crow, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to be one of those fraudulent people where my actions don't line up with my words and stuff. So yeah, it's crazy that people, you know, just fuck around when they know they put themselves out there a certain way and they don't want to live up to that.
I mean, if I was going to really like go in that type of lane where I'm trying to be a relationship guru, I'm just going to be upfront and honest with you. You know, with my viewers. Look, man, you know, I have a persona like on the internet, but I operate in a certain type of way. If I give you the advice and it doesn't apply, and sometimes, man, take my words as a grain of salt. Because look, just like how like I expect for like my followers to mess up, I expect myself to mess up. And I want you guys to expect for me to mess up every now and then. But you know what? When we mess up, we get right back on get on our bootstraps and keep sailing along.
But I mean, you just can't take that high and mighty road. And I think that's when you do that, you're like, oh, you guys are simps. Because, you know, he'll throw that out like when he's talking to people. But then you know, so it's like once you take that high moral ground, or, you know, you separate yourself, man, you just got to operate differently. Because you can always position yourself to be like more middle ground and shit, more balanced. So when people take, like I said, that they get on that extreme, man, that's what fucks them up. Because like you said, it's like, man, if you take the middle ground and you give yourself wiggle room to be like, motherfucker, I ain't never say you know, you shouldn't be doing A, B, C, D. You know, I said, hey, go with the flow or something like that. So yeah, it's kind of knowing yourself. If you know you're not probably got the most discipline, then yeah, you need to be balanced, man. You can't take no hard stances. Because once you do, people gonna hold you to them words.
Yeah. It's a surprise Myron didn't have a rotation or backup.
Nah, he was in love, man. That's why he dropped the squad. Even though people be talking mess, man, he was in love, man.
He was ready to, like, pronounce his true feelings, his love, life of Angie.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Because, but it's just like, man, you can't treat the girl like shit that you do want to go down that path with. So that's my thing. It's just like, man, you a lot of this stuff, it seems cool that everybody's putting on the salesmanship, but you could look at your clock and they got girls that I'm telling you, those females is plotting. They gonna eventually they gonna take their cut. They gonna be like, all right, go ahead and make that money. Go on and talk your shit. Give them dudes about like 3 to 5 years, and those females gonna be contacting the lawyers. All right, yeah, I've been here long enough where I get my cash out. Yeah, let's make that happen. Oh, it's coming. Them females is laying low right now.
Man, it just proves that, man, like, sometimes money doesn't really matter, bro. Like, again, what makes it bad is, like, this is a woman who's clearly not from the States, and if she was looking for a green card, she was willing to, like, pretty much, like, go back to, like, her own country, get deported, then to, like, really spend, like, the rest of her life being physical with this dude who's a millionaire. So, hey, man, you can have all the millions you want, but if you don't have that it factor, if you don't have that charisma, if you don't have that swag, that game, but most importantly, if you're not a good person, man, like, all that shit don't even really matter, bro. So, hopefully you guys can take a lesson to this.
Yeah, it's just, it ain't worth it, man.
Yeah.
If you can't get them by, like, your mouthpiece and they just genuinely want to be there with you, it's just short term. So some of them would stay, the long term, and because they might just be like, look, I'm in a good situation. He pays all my bills. He buys me the luxury stuff that I want. So I'll just ride it out. But a lot of them, like you said, yeah, they just look at it short term. They're like, I'll get what I can, but I do want to be with somebody I actually like. So that's where where Angie was like, I'm jumping off, I found somebody I like, so I got enough out of this situation, peace. So it's just a non-winning situation. So that's why, if you talk to dudes that do understand women, they don't like because, like, even when I'm talking to a lot of guys, man, and they couldn't understand the 50-50 dynamic, and I was trying to break it down to them, I'm like, I don't like women that need me out of necessity. I was actually talking to me and Ruthless was chopping it up today about this. And I was like, I don't like women that need me out of necessity or convenience. That's why I always tell people, I'm like, man, I don't mess with broke women. I like women that have their shit together, careers that get the bread. Because them women are with you out of, like, kind of desire or want. So a lot of guys get it confused. Because when a female wants you, she wants to be there. But then at the end of the day, just say, like, if she don't like you, man, she could just leave. She's not lingering around because, she needs you out of convenience and necessity. And that's where shit gets dangerous. Because a female that just needs to stick around, that's when she starts kind of conniving, like, damn, let me figure out a way to, like, sabotage this shit so I could, make myself look like the victim so I could get the cash out. So that's where the Diddies in them get caught up, because that female, she's with them out of necessity and convenience. And when she don't want to beat her no more, they don't want to just separate and be like, hey, I was just using them and leaving them. They want to take a victim position. So that's where the danger starts coming in with somebody out of necessity. And that's why I just never want to be in that state. So that's where a lot of guys just don't understand. They think, like, man, if I keep throwing money at them, eventually they'll end up loving me. They'll start liking me. They'll start desiring me. And it just don't work like that, man. If they not there from the jump, it's not going to come over time. But some guys, they just don't want to face that. And that's why they always kind of have bad situations. So that's the situation like Myron and Fresh has kind of been trapping himself into, because they bought into the philosophy so hard, the red pill shit. So like I said, it's kind of a trick and pedestalizing philosophy. So if they kind of backed out of that and was just like, you know what, man, we made it to a good heights. We got our stuff together. Myron, he's hitting the gym and shit. Yeah. Let me just get a girl that actually like me, and I just take it like that. He'll be all right, but it's just too much of. I'm still trying to impress too many other guys. So that's the whole issue with this whole situation.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with Stan. Yeah, them ones out of convenience and they needy too. So yeah, y'all dudes, majority of dudes can have that shit. Give me the one. I like chicks that could leave, man. And so that's why I was like explaining to Ruthless. I was like, hey, Ruthless. I was like, I tell from the jump. I'm like, look, the day you want to leave, you got a good job. I understand, no hard feelings, bounce. You know what I'm saying? So now if a female, if she could fund her own life, all that, and she's still with you, she's there because she wants you. She truly desires you. And I don't know why guys can't grasp this shit, but that's why I just got so tired of explaining it to dudes. I'm just like, you know what? Y'all motherfuckers just ain't got no game. Spend your goddamn money to.
I think when a woman is like open for you to marry her, you know what I mean? Or especially if she brings it up or whatever, that's when you know you really got it in the bag, you know, or you won her over. And it's not about, oh yeah, you know, you got your money or whatever, but like a person like really like you for you, they're gonna go above and beyond. So look, like I said, I'm not the type of guy that's gonna be like Myron and brag about my girl or whatever, because you know things could happen temporary, momentarily, whatever. But I will say this though, right? I am pretty blessed and fortunate for my woman to acknowledge that I am spoiled, and you're still like, you know, providing that type of behavior. So, and I encourage like every woman, you know, if you got it like that, and you want to spoil your dude, you know, hey, do what you want to do, and don't be ashamed of it. Don't let those other girls like, you know, try to make you feel bad for spoiling. Look, especially if y'all want to go ahead and, you know, come together and spoil me as a whole. Hey, I'll take it.
You say you're going out to the highest bidder, huh?
Right. So,
but no, you spot on, man. It's just one of those things. If it's done right, man, y'all have a mutual respect and you take care of each other. It shouldn't be one-sided, because when that imbalance happens, that's when people get burned out. And that's where people don't understand. So that's why I just be cracking up, because I be hearing everybody, man, they be like, 50-50, it can't exist. I'm like, man, it can't exist because y'all got a petty mindset. And you don't understand how to lay down, like I enforce reciprocation. So, you know what I'm saying? Because I just got the confidence. I'm like, look, we're going to treat each other both good and we're going to build. This is how this going to work. Nobody's here to take advantage of nobody. So, like, the dynamic works for me and my wife. But like you said, something important. It's just like, man, every relationship ain't guaranteed to work. So even mine, she could come home one day and be like, you know what, man, fuck you. But it's just like, you know, if you carry yourself a certain way, man, people could spot that, and you should always be good. Kind of like what Stan was saying, like, man, you should be able to get somebody else, like, if unless you're going on extremes and shit. So that's the issue with a lot of guys, man. They just, when you start pedestalizing, man, they start developing a dependency on the female that really don't like them either. So that's why they get trapped in that dynamic. But like somebody that understands like want and that desire, if that fizzles out, man, like with me, say like my wife started getting cold and stuff like that, and she wanted out, and I'm like, hey man, I understand, we're gonna part ways and we're gonna move on. I ain't gonna be sitting there like with a dependency and the fetal position crying and stuff like that. So I would just move on at that point. She could move on and we ain't gotta be sitting there. She ain't gotta stay with me out of convenience. Cause man, I just heard a lot of females talk when they with a guy and they have to stay with him financially. Man, they be saying the most foul, disrespectful shit.
Oh shit.
So that's what I'm saying. I just never wanted to be in that dynamic. Like, man, I can't stand him. If I was able to financially leave, I would. I can't do that. Or, you know, the ones that be creeping with actually the guy they like. So it's like, man, because I knew this one person, she was like, end up cheating with the guy she was cheating with was like her husband was a pretty good high earner. And the guy she cheated with never took her out anywhere, but he was knocking it down. And so that's why I'm saying that's the type of disrespect that typically happens. Because think about it.
Yeah.
If she's out there creeping, she can't really be going out to a lot of spots. This dude ain't taking her to like all these dinners because, you know, they're doing this in minimal amount of time. So that's what I'm saying. So like with Angie, she's messing with a dude that probably ain't got too much there, but he was the one she was probably creeping with on the side and stuff. Meanwhile, you know, Myron's paying the bills and all that shit. So yeah, that's why I was like, I'm never gonna be a trick. You know. Never. If you could hear about me in the story, because I like I said, I can't make no promises with anybody because you're dealing with somebody else's behavior. So even in Myron's case, it's like, you know, man, a lot of relationships end. So you can't take that personal, but it's just the way he went about it that you could talk shit about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ain't never gonna be no trick because I'm never gonna be the one on that side of the story. Like, damn, man, I done did all this stuff and she done got with the nigga at Foot Locker. He's pounded it out. This motherfucker ain't even buy her a Happy Meal, and I'm over here buying Ruth Chris's shit. I'm not gonna be the one on that end and be like, oh, I did the most while this motherfucker like he ain't doing shit and just knocking it down. Hell nah.
That's why like when people are tricking, right? Like, dude, you send out a wrong message to the wrong people, right? Who really don't really need to hear this or watch this, you know?
That's why I said it's a mental illness, because you're putting yourself in the most inferior position. You're like, fuck it, I'm gonna be the guy that's so infatuated by this that I'm gonna do the most, even though I know there's guys within her past. Because females would tell you, like, hey, if I really like a guy, he ain't got to do the most. I'm willing to work with him. I'm willing to do this. So if you're sitting there, you got to pay. She's literally telling you, like, you're not him. But see, guys don't want to pause and think this shit out and be like, damn, why am I doing the most? If, you know, they literally would tell us, like, if I'm really into a guy, I'm attracted to him. Hell, like, we could go for a walk in the park and draws coming off. So that's what I'm saying. I don't understand how guys be trying to do all this crazy shit. I'm trying to be the walk in the park guy.
Right. Wait, okay, Drake, I got to ask you a question, right? Because I know you did mention this a couple of times, like the way how she just gave him that kiss on the forehead, right? And you know, some are women or whatever, you know, like maybe once in a while they will probably go for the kiss on the forehead or whatever, but it'd be like a little bit more intimate. But in this point, like I know, like this doesn't look much of an intimate type of kiss. Now you don't have to answer my question or whatever, right? Because if it's too personal, like you don't have to say anything. But what if that was you in that situation? If your wife kind of, you know, you now like, you know, you're a stream desk or whatever, or you working and your wife just gave you that kiss on the forehead. Will you question that, or will you just kind of shrug it off?
I would shrug it off because you know I'm not gonna make a scene,
right?
But see, like my wife wouldn't even honestly like step into the scene like that. So she wouldn't be like, if I was say I'm just sitting there, like even right now, she wouldn't come into the picture. She'd be like, hey man, you know, she might peek around like, look, what's up? You you know, I want to kick it with you. So she might make a sign or something, but you know, she's not gonna jump in and, you know, do the showsmanship. That's what I'm saying. Cause a lot of time people are just trying to do the most for the cameras.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, we kick it enough where we like, she gonna give me my space. She ain't gonna come in a shot and be like, kissing me on the forehead. Like I said, it's the Titanic scene and shit. So, you know what I'm saying? You know, there's times and places for that. So I think a lot of time it's like, that's why I said it's like showsmanship. But, you know, typically the guys can do the kiss on the forehead.
Yeah.
Like a female will typically kiss you on the side or something like that. So yeah, it just reminded me of The Best Man, where he was all like, he did it to damn near every female. And they was all upset. They're like, oh, did he give you the forehead kiss too? So,
yeah. You know, I feel like some things is better left like off the stream. You know what I mean? Like That's why.
Yeah, I like my life private, man. Honestly, that because even shit in the past, you know, when we're talking about, they'll ask like, "Hey, were you a player back in the day?" You know, man, I don't. They'll be like, "About how many females did you have back?" Man, I don't respond to certain things, man. That's what I'm saying. Certain doors need to be closed. Even someone when I was a knucklehead, man, because I got in a lot of trouble. I just leave shit in the past, man. Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like all the public display of affection, it's like, man, we don't need to do that. I've been with my wife for so long, committed, man. We cool. We affectionate off the camera, man. We ain't about to do the corny shit on cam and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, if she honestly, man, it would just be awkward. So yeah, if she came in the picture and did that, I'll just blow it off. But more than less, I talk so much shit, man. I'll be flirting with her. I'm like, damn, okay, you been doing them squats? You know, I'll start talking shit like that. So
yeah. So I gotta bring the homie Rufus Truth up in the stage.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So hold on for a second. I'm gonna have to switch this around to this view. Rufus Truth, man, what's up, man? How you doing, brother?
To the panel, gentlemen, scholars, and whoever else is listening, what's up?
What's good, Rufus? I like that intro that you came in with, man. That's what I'm talking about, Rufus.
Yeah.
Gangster and a gentleman.
I think you're a little kind of sitting there, sophisticated jerk.
No doubt.
Because I understand you have not hung around with people with great resources or amount of resources. So the way you think is that of one who's of survival mode. So I understand it, and it's perfectly okay to think like that. But when you're in a certain level, like when you get past the high earning mark, the mindset is a totally different ballgame. People don't look at the way you look at things the same, right? Where you're being below the economic, elite status may think about, well, I don't want to spend this or I don't spend that because maybe you have a objective to save so much so you can be in a certain position and you're not willing to depart, which is understandable. Like I said, it's fair. But now when you're getting up into, $250,000 a year, $250,000 a month, right? The mindset is not the same, right? So your opinion on what someone is doing with their money is a total fallacy, and it is also an indictment on you, on your personality, and you're projecting, right, your personality, the way you view things from an economic survival standpoint, to someone who has it pretty easy, right? Who doesn't really, spending $10,000 a month is like water, right? And they don't view, and they don't have the same attitude as you, right? We're different. So until you get into that status, elite status, right? Then you would see that you wouldn't even dare say something like that because people will look at you as if they would say, "Are you struggling? You need help? We need to send you some money," right? Like they would think that you were, in a pickle or something. So yeah, it's understandable, right? So until you get to there, you should reserve, these type of comments about what other people are doing with their disposable income, right? Because it doesn't affect you one way or the other, right? It doesn't. And you being a tight ass is your prerogative, right? Nobody's going to sit here and debate with you about how you need to get to your retirement plan, about how you need to put your 401k together. That's your prerogative. But keep on throwing these slanderous words out here, sophisticated jerk, and you're kind of leaving like the elite to come down and give you this work. I'm just saying.
No, I like that. Now, first of all, I'm in the 1%.
Well, then you shouldn't be. You're in the 1%. You're more like maybe.
I'm in the 1%.
Yeah, 20%.
But I know people that got their shit together that's making absurd amount of money and don't carry themselves like that.
How you know?
At the end of the day, man, I don't care what people do to their money, but when you keep having bad results and you spending all your bread like that, like still supposed to sharpen still. So as men, we should be able to take feedback from each other. So when people are having fucked up results and you tricking your bread off, like it's time to adapt, player.
So this is where once again, this is why the mindset of the elite money people have a different mindset of the people who are struggling trying to get.
They ain't
to the
got
top.
no different mindset. That's what they try to sell the masses. Like, oh, I got a different mindset. This is chump change.
Let's dissect your rhetoric. You just said, oh, you trying to get a result. What if the result they want is to spend and get over it? What if they don't want to get to know? What if they don't want to build with a motherfucker, right? What if they just want what's between their legs and they're willing to cut the curve, chip the curve without having to do all the motherfucking talking and walk in the motherfucking park, meet up, handle business, keep it pushing. If that's the outcome, desired outcome they want, then how you gonna say teach them to be a better outcome? Maybe this is where they're happy. This is what maybe makes them happy.
Sugar can't be written off our taxes. But Rufus, let's turn it down to reality and watch. I'm gonna get to you next, right? You have people who are tricking to be in relationships. You have people that's tricking these girls, paying for their college tuition, paying for their apartments or whatever, because again, you have people like Myron who wants to have a family, but you don't have the game. So instead of having your personality to the table where people can accept you for who you are, you have to bring money to the table in order for you to build a fundamental type of relationship. But really, there's no fundamentals once you have put money on the table, because then it really becomes superficial. So we gotta turn it down a little bit, man, and we gotta really just maintain planet Earth.
You're a little delusional too, right? It's understandable, right? Because you're at the PIMP up north thing, right? We understand that, right? But you ain't. We know that you don't indulge. But I would say this, right? How will you change an ideology that's been here for over 1 million years, right? And that is being a provider. Being a provider comes with bringing resources and sharing with someone of a female orientation. And that's how I go. Now we do got some new age guys like Sophisticated Jerk, right? Man, we need to split it down the middle. Right? That's fine. That's his ideology. But the ideology of a provider though, right? Our grandfathers, our great-great-grandfathers were giving their checks to grandma, and they was doing what, right? So the grandfather was paying for all the bills. She would just give it to grandma, and she would allocate the funds into the, make sure the lights was on and stuff, et cetera, right? So now you're trying
are you saying, hold on, are you saying a provider's a trick then? Is that what you're saying?
No. Okay, so now you're trying to get a gotcha movement. It's okay though.
No, I'm asking you because you're correlating them too. You're starting to correlate that.
No, you're not listening, right? What I'm saying is, you guys cannot disagree with me that over history, men are projected providers in their relationships on a great scale. We cannot deny that, right? And a large part of men's value, what makes him deemed a man in society, is his economic success, which makes him a successful person. We can't disagree with that.
Yeah, economics plays a piece to it, but the fact that we're trying to we cover with the tricking is, you could take the same female. So you got the guy with the economic success that dudes will be blowing all their money, but she will have another guy that she messed with that worked at Haagen-Dazs. They ain't spent shit. So why would you want to put yourself in an inferior position?
Okay.
That you got to do all that while the other guy got, like when females were like, hey, I'll go to if I really like a guy, I'll go to the park with him. We could go eat a hot dog. So why would you want to put yourself in this other position where they're pretty much telling you that I'm willing to give this other treatment if I really liked you? So that's the issue that we're trying to uncover. That's why I said Trick's got mental illness.
You're speaking in the 60s and 70s and the 80s, right? This shit is not happening. Nobody going to parks anymore walking no motherfucking where. Ain't nobody doing that no more, right? Oh, baby, let's go to the middle. No women and men are doing that very, very rare. That's one, right? Two, Why are some guy getting some coochie on some sympathy pussy, on some simping pussy, on some beta pussy? Yeah. There's some niggas who are, doing everything, and they're bending over backwards for this bitch, right? They're doing everything they can, and she might give them some sympathy coochie. Not gonna deny that, right? But here's the deal: he can't sustain that bitch. Because she's always gonna look for better, or somebody who's gonna give her what she wants. So here's the deal: most women, we say 98%, looking for a provider, right? And part of that provision is economic stability of some sort of thing that they can say, okay, this could be my husband, or this could be a long-term relationship. If most women would not date a guy at McDonald's, it's not happening. So why do you're sitting here, sophisticated jerk, saying to the men out here in the world who work at Mickey D's, Burger King, all you have to do is be yourself. Be who you are, right? Show up with that McDonald's outfit on and see how many girls you're gonna get, right? Then guess what happens? The same dudes who say that, the same dudes, when an argument comes on, don't agree, nigga, you broke, you work at Mickey D's, nigga. So we can't have it both ways, right? We can't shame niggas for being broke and making not a lot of money, and then turn around and say, well, don't spend your money when you want to have a good time with a woman. That is stupid. What's the point of having money, nigga? What's the point of having money if you're trying not to go out and spend on women because you want them, what, not to know you have money? You want them to get to know you and then find out you have money? I'm confused.
So here's the thing. So that McDonald's worker that you was talking about, there's chicks that work at McDonald's that will fuck with him. Then also the second point is it's not about spending your money. It's spending it on somebody that actually likes you and somebody that earns your time and your resources. So that's why I'm saying it's a confidence and insecurity thing. So if you're throwing it out there too fast, you don't respect your own, like I said, time and money. So then when a lot of those guys, they end up getting tricked, man, they be in their feelings about shit because they invested a lot of emotion into that stuff. So what we're telling guys is just like, hey man, like get somebody that actually likes you, and then that's the person you put your resources to once they earn it.
So
wait,
just throw this shit out there. But hey, let's let 100 go real quick.
Yeah. Well, real quick. I'm sorry, Watts. Right. I did ask ChatGPT about the key roles of a provider. After when Watts go, I could definitely read a list to you guys.
Stupid is stupid in any tax bracket, big dog. We done seen too many football players and rappers and all this other kind of shit go broke behind chasing bitches and the party and the lifestyle and stupid is stupid in any tax bracket, bro. Just because you have a bunch of money and you spend and it's nothing, like, okay, cool, you can make that money back, but what happens when that well run dry? Or when the tap not running the same way it is? Because everybody like using the example of a broke nigga coming down on hard times. What about a rich nigga coming down on hard times? Because that happens to them too.
Yeah, what was my man's name?
Most rich people that I know of, they talk about how they made a bunch of money, went broke, and had to make it back again. So what happens when they go broke and they got to make it back again? Are we just, is the assumption the bitch just automatically gonna leave? Because you provided everything, you had the money, you did the show, you did the dancing pony show. So what happened?
You're having a different conversation.
Ruthless, you switched the entire conversation.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I addressed sophisticated jerk.
The men that you were speaking about was not the men that they were referring to, sir.
You talked about going out on a date and spending money. They said it's tricking. I'm saying if you go on a date, what are you supposed to do? Now you're talking about, if you go broke. That's all. That's a whole nother.
You made reference to sophisticated jerk being condescending because of his thought process based on survival mode.
Yeah, but
you said that he was condescending because of his thought process. Yes. And I don't like your thought process either, because your thought process is, bitch, I got money, so everything should be good. And we see that doesn't work. That does not work.
That's not my thought process.
I'm fam. Am I retarded? Like that's what you.
Nah,
fam.
that's what happened. You're right, 100.
No, my thought process is not, bitch, I got money, because I've always had bitches. Period. And when I was broke, I always had bitches. I've never been without. That's not.
So why is it? So why is money so often used in your conversation if you've been getting bitches when you was broke and got money?
This is the topic we're having right now, and I'm just saying, we as people need to stop judging other people what they do with their money. If a nigga want to get his money and go blow it all on the motherfucking bad investments, that's his prerogative. He has to live with that, not us. So that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is for us to try to shame a nigga what he's doing with his money that's in his wallet, and we having critical thought on how he's doing with that money and telling him what he needs to do with that money is, we're not his dad, we're not his parents, so who gives a fuck, right? He doesn't give a fuck.
So I disagree. I disagree with you with this particular person because he's on the internet telling other people what to do with their money. So how you gonna tell me what to do with my money and you doing goofy shit with yours?
That's where it all starts.
He's a guru, ruthless, and the piggyback off of what 100 saying.
Are you talking about Myron, right?
Yeah.
Myron is not a financial advisor. All Myron do, first of all, he's not a dating coach. All Myron do is call it like it is. He said women date up, men date down, blah, blah, blah. Women are hoes, men are this. He's red pill, right? They do not sit here and say, well, y'all need to spend your money like this. No, he just calls out.
So he doesn't go on his show. So he doesn't go on his show to say, I'm here to show you goofy niggas how to spend your money so you can get like me. He doesn't say that.
Maybe he on some other shows. Maybe as far as Fresh and Fit on the podcast that I've seen, he had a bunch of women on there, and he's shaming them.
Sounds like he don't really watch the podcast like enough, though.
That's what it sounds like. You watch clips.
All of this shit. He's more shaming women. Red pill guys shame women and lift up men. That's what they do.
But my whole thing is, if you shaming people and you're running right to the worst of the worst batch, you ain't got no right to really complain. Because your problems is definitely you're selecting in how you moving.
So
here's a guy who says, like, look, my woman is better than all your other women all your other girls that you deal with. My woman is so submissive. While I'm out here sleeping around with 4 or 5 different women, guess where she's at? She's in my parents' house in Connecticut, being a good submissive slave woman that she's meant to be. Again, but then when you have a woman that's like this, right? Oh, let me go ahead and play this. Now, when it backfires, and now your woman is actually like, left you, and she's actually in like her best life. I'm gonna mute this real quick and just let it run through. And then she gets with a broke dude, right? Well, compared to like Myron, a broke rollerblading construction type of worker.
Hold on, but damn, you should just let it play out.
Oh, I thought you told me to pause it. That's why.
No, you good.
Oh, okay. But then you get with a broke like Mexican construction worker or whatever. Like I said, I mean, I'm not throwing no shade at him, but you know what I mean.
That can happen to anybody. Tom Brady the same way, right? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who. Listen. I'm gonna say this, right? I do agree with you that maybe he boasted a little too much, right?
No. He boasted like a
no man relationship is safe. No man relationship is safe. Any woman could get taken. Any bitch could get taken. Better keep her protected, nigga. Any man, if you get out here, you let your woman run rampant, and you think that she can't be taken, you're a little delusional.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that do-rag though,
but this has nothing to do with him spending money or none of that. All this is maybe they have a relationship. Maybe she went out and got a little extra dick on the side. He don't forgive her. They don't keep it moving. What's up?
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure. You better.
I don't know. It looked like she enjoying like the best of her life. Like, watch this though.
That her right there?
No. You'll see.
At the end. This is August 2025. And we see them holding hands together because the dude just took.
I'm gonna pause it just like that.
So just imagine, and this is what I'm talking about. You done invested all that money in there. I don't give a fuck how much you got. You paying somebody's rent, and this dude that probably struggling out here, he's over here rollerblading and knocking it down. And y'all telling me that stop. You will want to take that inferior position, ruthless? Fuck that.
Let's mine this out. Let's
mine it out.
Because you're making fun of a lot of married men who's getting fucked over right now in their relationships. This is a story of married men mostly, right? Because it ain't. They're getting divorced and left to cheat on too, just like everybody else. Right? You can't sit here and tell me that married men are getting cheated on. And they're not as boastful as Myron. Listen, dude, women have the propensity to be grimy and scandalous like this. And this is any woman's capability. Now, do you get lucky? Can you get lucky and find one that don't jump out there like that? Yeah. And you better count your blessings, nigga. But just because it happened to him don't mean it can't happen to you. Remember, your book is still being written. There's a lot, the future has not been all the way revealed. Every man in a relationship or marriage, I don't care what type of commitment y'all have, years y'all got in it. Just because you didn't catch your girl, just because you haven't caught her, don't mean she ain't did nothing. So we don't know for sure what anybody's life may have secrets in a dark closet, right? We really don't know. But just because this man's life is on, the internet, now y'all got some fire. Now y'all want to spit at him. Oh, well, you get your check it out. Check it out. Maury Povich, You're Not the Father thing is a very big show years ago. This happens. All the women cheat all the fucking time. A lot of them just don't get caught.
So now we got you with a lot of people cheat, but see, this is what y'all preaching. This is where it's dangerous. Y'all damn near walking into the goddamn trap. So you ain't supposed to like choose from the bottom. You're supposed to give yourself a better probability with shit. So that's all we're saying.
How she ain't from the bottom? Tom Brady.
If you're sitting there paying for somebody that don't like you, you're at the bottom.
Tom Brady's wife wasn't for the bottom.
Let me just say this though, right?
But see, they didn't really have a cheating dynamic. That's what I'm saying.
Michael Jordan married his college sweetheart, and she divorced him. What you talking about? What you mean for the bottom though? Be specific. What you talking about?
I'm talking about Byron. We're not talking about Michael Jordan and Tom Brady. People do break up and split apart, but
she ain't no hood girl. What be you from the bottom?
Anybody like no hood or whatever. Look, let me just put
anyone can cheat.
Whenever you're on the internet and you're having all this energy telling people how they should conduct themselves in relationships, what they need to do this, what they need to do that, don't trick, don't do this, but then you're doing this behind the scenes, closed door. You giving this woman all your money, most of your money. You're paying her off, and this is like the things that pretty much like that you get. You know what I mean? Honestly, like you're setting yourself up.
But what's he saying?
For your audience, man, it's like a code. These are people that look up to you. So if I was the type of person, right, that I was a fake ass relationship guru, and I'm telling these people to do something that I'm not following like an example, I'm leading my sheep astray, bro. You know what I mean? And that's where we gotta go out their heads like tenfold, because honestly, out here trying to save y'all. You know what I mean? We're trying to save these people out there, man, who's watching us. Because honestly, man, all these red pill guru guys or whatever, these fake manosphere people, they're out here giving bad advice. They give about women that they don't even know nothing about. Or honestly, this is Myra's first ever girlfriend. And yet prior to that,
how would you know that?
Give people dating advice.
Wait a minute, hold on. So you guys don't like him, so now you trying to bash him because you guys are pro woman and he's anti-woman?
You're being selective right now.
I'm asking the question.
Yeah.
The reason why Real for Truth is being selective, right? Because we can relate to Myron. Look, my face for women, and look, I'm not shaming you directly ruthless truth, right? Because again, whatever works for you. But there's
I'm shaming all these niggas. Fuck that.
but there's
I'm bringing heat to all of them.
But there's a lot of people, right, that don't really have that tricking type of material, and then they try to follow that bad type of advice, and then they get out tricked.
So here's the deal, right?
Got out tricked by a Asian chick. You
Listen,
know,
I understand it. Listen,
it doesn't work.
Listen, man. Let me help y'all out, man. Y'all my partners, man. MT, I've been knowing you for like almost 2 years now. Since we're like a little over 7 months. Listen, man. Just because a man, he's sleeping with a gang of bitches, obviously, right? And she went out and probably have an affair, right? Okay. But he's not losing because he's not sold out to only her. And we don't know how much money he's giving her and not giving her, right? We don't know that. Well, we can't do this, right? Some niggas just fight with their money. Some niggas just don't. Now I do is jealous of Myron, right? Because he got a gang of bitches, right? They're jealous of his lifestyle. He blew up big and made a lot of money pointing out the inconsistency of women and what they're capable of. And a lot of dudes are pro-women, are very, they really don't think a guy like that should be doing that. So any chance, any little crack in the armor, nigga, they ready to take his ass down, right? This is fine, right? But we know that some niggas so tight, right? They wouldn't pay for a fraud to get through his ass, right? Because some niggas baby, let's go out. Oh, they gonna take her to McDonald's, they gonna take her Denny's, like yeah, and then they got 100,000 in the bank, right? So we understand that there's dudes who care about their money, who don't like to share their shit because they're just don't like to share this shit. Then there's other men who don't mind sharing their money, right, with other people. So because we have two different ideologies on how we should allocate our resources, there is no law against spending money, and there's no law against saving money, right? So it's understandable.
All right, ruthless. Would you say that there is a difference between what you do and simping? Would you say that there's a difference between the two?
Hell yeah, ain't no simp.
Okay, so ruthless. Stop. You are at least acknowledging that you're at least acknowledging the fact that there are niggas out here that lead with their money, that have the expectation of their money carrying weight. We're talking about the niggas that don't have game, that are using the money as the tool to get what they're looking for. That's what we're talking about, ruthless. The niggas that have the money, that spend the money with women, we're not talking about that. If a dude chooses a female and he fucks with her for whatever reason, if this is the chick that he's deciding to spend time and interact with, that's cool. But we're talking about niggas that spending money on girls that they're not fucking, that they may only fuck one time and now she's just dragging him along. The girl that takes the nigga on dinners, that has him spending $500 and only talks to him one time a month. Like, those are the niggas we talking about, ruthless. We're not saying we're not saying it's wrong for a nigga to spend money on a female. We talking about the niggas that do it for all of the bitches they come across for attention. That's what we talking about, ruthless.
So, and
especially, hold on, real quick, and especially for a Myron, where it's like you're pointing out the bad prototype. You're like, these women are gold diggers, this, but you're locked into them. So
Okay,
that's the flip side of it too.
So here's the deal, right? I hear you guys saying. What I'm saying is, who fucking cares? If a nigga want to pay us for compensation for 1 month and he's willing to pay for that, and that's the value he's getting for his money, that's his prerogative. He doesn't affect my life nor my finances in any means or any necessary. If some dudes, we had this conversation, sophisticated jerk, some dudes have to lead all the way with their money because they don't have the good looks, they don't have the swag, they just don't have the things that some dudes are blessed with. And they understand that most women want those things as a prerequisite to get in the space with them. So because they don't have the physical attributes and all the things of a Michael B. Jordan or all the things, right? So they're going to do what they can because they desire to at least get some attention. That's their prerogative, but that's their life. Them the ones got to live with that. Not us. It doesn't affect sophisticated dirt or empty.
If your stance, if your stance is why does it matter, why are you here talking about your side?
Well, I'm here to, sophisticated jerks ass.
So if men are cool with spending their money and getting used and taken advantage of, then why are because even you, Ruthless, are talking about females' nature then, if y'all feeding it.
Every female is using everybody for something, nigga. Every female using a nigga for something. It's a dick.
So why are y'all complaining though?
We're not. You're the one who's saying, but you're the one who's saying, oh, use a trick. Listen, females are using everybody who they come in contact with. Any woman that's getting with a man, she's using him. Period. Ain't nobody accept it. Ain't nobody getting around that. Unless this nigga's a dope fiend and this nigga's just a dope hand. Other than that, if you're competent and have a decent amount of competence and make good money, a decent amount of money, she's using you for something.
So what you say, like the issues we're having in the West, as far as then we got to say it's men's fault then, huh?
The issues we have in the West is the women are not holding their end of the bargain. That's the issues we have in the West. Not the men.
But we're still willing to go and spend the money like that, right? So we're enabling the situation.
No, listen, God, the ideology of a man is to be a provider across the board, right? That's the ideology.
That's not provision. M3, read off the provision thing. See, provision is a lot more than just spending money on chicks that online with you. That ain't provision. That's tricking. See?
Listen, hold up. It's not just money, but money part of it.
So let me just read this, right? Here's a simple meaning, right? I wish I could, matter of fact, let me do this. I'll definitely help you guys out on this one. Oops. Let me close this out because we already seen enough of this anyway. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do a window share. If it will let me, or okay, maybe I have to share the entire screen. So bear with me. Okay. So if I go out here, can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. Can you see right here from the chat GPT where it says simple meaning?
Yeah, we see everything.
Okay, cool. So key roles of a provider women commonly see. Okay, yeah, number one is financial security.
Yes.
All right. Covering or contributing to bills, food, housing, and lifestyle needs. Showing ambition, stability, and responsibility with money, not necessarily being rich, but consistent. And then they look for emotional support, providing comfort, reassurance, and safety during stressful times. Listening, validating feelings, offering encouragement, protection, and safety. Creating an environment where she feels safe physically and emotionally. Stepping up when challenges or threats arise. Leadership and guidance. Having vision, direction, and the ability to make decisions confidently. Leading the family or partnership with wisdom and balance, not controlling but dependable. Number 5, consistency and reliability. Being someone she can trust to show up, keep promises, and remain steady. Offering stability that helps build a long-term foundation. Okay? And the thesaurus version, the synonyms, right, of providing this context is protector, supporter, caregiver.
Those synonyms.
Oh, you mean what do they mean?
Those are synonyms.
Yeah, those are synonyms. Yeah. Stabilizer.
Stabilizer.
I'm sorry, stabilizer. My bad. Okay. Guardian, leader, okay, sustainer, anchor, contributor. So if the role of a provider is really about more than money, it's about So the role of a provider is really about more than money. It's about being her rock, give her a peace of mind that she doesn't have to face life struggles alone. Hold on, Google. Yeah, and that's
okay. M3, so that's great. Thank you, M3. M3, I really appreciate you for that. You really helped my argument, right? Easy. Thank you, M3. Because now you're right. They said it. The number one was financial. Now, women.
No. Let's pause right there. Hold on.
Women now have gotten more corrupted, right? Because they want more through social media, right? Friends around them, looking at other people's lifestyles and just thinking that they're entitled to have more, right? And I'm not saying money is everything, but on their pie chart, it's at 80 to 85%. Then comes, right? Listen, they don't need a protector anymore because they got 911, right? That's their daddy. That's their protector. Then everything else, they can supplement you, right? Women don't need you to get everything they need to get anymore, right? They can go get a job if they want to, or they can go get 5 dudes, put them a roster together, and be financially stable. So this is something that women seek. Providers, meaning, and money is now in 2025 a large part of that. I'm not saying it's everything. So you cannot sit here and tell a man.
Can you pull that chart back up, M3? Because I wanted to break down something.
Yeah, but you can't tell a man, right, who's going out here on the date market that women are seeking a financial provider as one of their prerequisites. Hey, don't leave with your money. Right? Because then what you gonna leave with being broke? You gonna play like you broke? She's not even gonna give you the time of day. She's gonna ghost you. Even your wife, before you married her, she knew you had a decent income. You knew you were making money, nigga. You wasn't telling her, "Oh yeah, I'm broke, baby, and this is me." Ain't nobody's getting married like that.
But see, like, okay, when you look at financial security, there's no issue with somebody wanting financial security, because if somebody has their stuff together, they're looking at it from like, I want somebody with a financial mindset. See, what you guys are talking about as far as tricking, you guys are funding luxury and bad behavior and shit.
See, now you're trying, no. See, now you're
hold on, let me finish. Hold on. So, what I always tell guys, I'm like, get with what women that have money. So, like, if they got their own money, number one is kind of limited. It eliminates itself because they're not looking for you to use you.
Yes, you are.
So now they might need more. Number two, they might need more leadership and guidance. So provision just means you're providing something.
Listen,
it don't have to always be fixated on financial security. Y'all want it to be focused on financial security because that's all y'all can provide.
I don't want it to be. Listen, walk with me, first. Walk with me real quick. Listen. Women can supplement everything on that list, right? They don't absolutely need a man to get all that. So the value of man is going.
You just checkmated yourself.
No,
so if she could supplement, say, finances, where would she go? Say, just remove finances. Say she's financially savvy. She's Taylor Swift.
So she's gonna look for
what would she look for in a man then at that point?
She's gonna look for her number one complaint. And let's say she's Taylor Swift. She'll look for somebody equal or make more than her. She's not going down, right? She's not going to do the pointing and put them off the street.
So what do you define as equal and better? Because Jason Travis Kelce doesn't make as much as her.
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce. He doesn't earn as much as her. So
he's making. He has status. That's number one. Plus, he's over worth $100 million, right? He has a nice amount of money that she feels he's on her level, right? She has status. He has status. And he's a high earner. She will not. Taylor Swift is not gonna date a nigga.
But would you say the status is equal to a Taylor Swift, to a person that is doing $1 billion tours and shit?
But what we mean by equal is he can still have a lifestyle whether she's there or not. And if she didn't have that money, he could provide that lifestyle for her and not miss a beat. That's what that means. It's not about who has more. It's about, is he capable? And he's capable. That's why she's picking him. Not no nigga at the college level. Not no nigga. These niggas at college, she would never marry. Beyonce would never marry a nigga at college. That's why she got with Jay-Z, nigga.
No, absolutely.
Okay.
But I'm saying, is she? Do you think like a Taylor Swift or Beyonce is using these men for like money?
No, they're using these women for security and keeping their image intact. Right? So they don't. These women, these type of women, but the prerequisite to get with these women is still you need to be on Jay-Z or Kelsey's level. You can't be beneath that.
Oh no, but I could have sworn you said like most women, right? They look for somebody, right, that is like equal or more, right?
Yeah.
Like it can never be any less like in the financial bracket because
I explained it to you. I said equal meaning not necessarily the numbers, but his capabilities. So, for example, right? For example, Taylor Swift has more money than Kelsey, but she knows in her mind if her money runs out, he's still capable of keeping up their lifestyle.
So this falls into like emotional or protection and safety. You know,
that doesn't count.
Right? Really, money is not even the sole contributor.
No,
That don't count.
But Rufus, could she be with him because of like attraction too?
That too, and his status. But number one is status. To even get into the room is actually for her date, nigga. You would not ever be able to ask Taylor Swift for a motherfucking date, and your status right now is sophisticated jerk.
Why you say my name out like that?
Her security would tackle your ass. Get the fuck out of here, right? So let's keep it real, right? So
But you just made the point that there's other factors, like so if a female got her stuff together, kind of the woman that jerk is telling people that they should strive for. You know, females that got their stuff together, they could want you for other things other than financial and all that. You don't have to trick your bread off.
No. But they still
to leadership and guardian stand, right? Because you talking about
Kelsey still paying for all the dinners, nigga.
The financial like aspects of it. So basically,
Jay-Z is still paying for the dinners and the rent.
The money is not always like the top tier.
Well, we're not saying that. M3, you're not hearing what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you, M3 and Sophisticated Jerk and Watts, 100 Watts, is money is still a prerequisite to get in a room with these women. That's number one, right? Then you'll have a chance to break all that other shit down.
Okay, so that's why,
broke nigga, right? Let's say you work at Walmart, head manager at Walmart. Beyonce and Taylor Swift, you're not getting in the room with them to even explain your case.
Nobody on this panel is saying that that is realistic. If I was talking to a dude that works at McDonald's and he's complaining about women, I would tell him, yes, you are not in a position to be complaining about bitches right now, big dog. Right now, what you need to do is shut the fuck up, stop talking to women, get your shit together, and come back in about 3 to 5 years when you got your feet under you and you got something behind you. Right now, you need to shut the fuck up talking about women. I think all of us on this panel would agree that is pretty much the thought process behind a nigga that work at McDonald's complaining about women. If you can't get one of the women that work at your job, stop it.
Okay,
cut it the fuck out.
Okay, you have another.
I agree with that, and I'll also tell him to get a big back.
Yeah, you guys having a different conversation, right? We're talking about
with bad ankles.
M3 put it says key roles of a provider women commonly seek. Right? And this now let's keep it real. This list has changed, right? Because protection and safety, women don't look for that no more from men. Right? Leadership, guidance, women don't look for that no more. So take them off, right? Consistency, reliability, they still want that, right? So they want the financial security, emotional support, and consistent reliability. Now, if they're both rich, if she's rich and you're rich, then it drops down to once she finds out you're rich like her, then it drops down to emotional support and consistency and reliability.
So pretty much what you're kind of describing is like if you date in a similar capacity that you're in, the financial component could drop and other elements could pick up. So that's pretty much what we're saying. Don't trick. So that's why you're making our point for us.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Let me help you. Even if you meet a woman on your level, right? Let's just say, right? You're still paying for all the dinner dates. That's expectation coming in. She's not going 50-50. She's not Dutching with you, nigga. She's still expecting
do you always have to go to a dinner date?
If you're that level, pretty much 90% of the time, like what else you gonna do? You going to parks? You going to vacations? You're paying for that. Women, even if Beyonce is not paying for that, Jay-Z's paying for that. Right?
I'm just talking about somebody that was equivalent. Say like you get started off.
Why do you keep putting Beyonce on niggas? Like everybody, right? Like my nigga. Like what are you talking about?
Because that's what we're talking. We just made an example is no matter how much a woman, she can be richer than you or equal, right? She still has expectations for you to pay for all the shit for y'all time together. She's not going to. If you're a millionaire and your girl you talk to is a millionaire, she's not going to pay. She's not going to say, okay, we're going to go Dutch 50-50. No, you're expected to pay for all that shit still.
But I'm saying if both individuals, say like a man and a woman, they both making around 40,000, you think they going out to eat a lot? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
After they pay their bills and all that shit.
Yeah. Yes, because nobody's cooking these days. Uber Eats, or they going out to eat?
So you think they're going to like a high end spot? You don't think they're going to like a local joint?
No, they're going to Chili's, nigga.
Wait,
Chili's.
bro, I'm sorry. You said nobody cooking on these things?
Chick-fil-A.
No. Cooking on these days, right?
What'd you say, M3?
You said you just said nobody cooks nowadays, right? I just want.
It's very rare.
Well, the reason why it's very rare, right? Because like if you single, right? Because like you had all these like high expectations that were so ridiculous, and you can't get them in, right? But you still have some money left over, right? Of course, like you're not gonna really like cook for yourself because it gets tiring doing it, right? But once you're in love and once you actually find a man, you actually have a purpose to really want to get back and do some things or whatever.
You find a woman, right?
You gotta have the right people to kind of like bring that back out of you again.
Women are not cooking that much out these days.
Oh, hey, well, you know what? The women and the other people's wives are cooking out these days. The ones that's around me. So,
God damn, M3. You know how many people in this world besides you? Billions. The fuck out of here, talking about around me. Most women. Who's talking about around me? He got like 4 people live around here. You talking about that's the whole world, right? So anyway, right? Most women are not cooking these days. It's just not. Most people are going out to restaurants, right? Particularly people in live the high lifestyle. They're definitely going out. They cook, maybe she might cook once a month. Now let's take it down to the average, right? So 50, 60K, both of y'all making, let's say you're equal, right? You're bringing 60K, she's bringing 60K. Now still going to 60K, that'll put you in Roof Chris, or even a nice little nice spot like that. You ain't going no mother.
Bruh, you are completely disconnected. You're completely disconnected. You're completely disconnected. 60 grand.
60K.
60 grand going to Roof Chris is financially irresponsible, and you deserve to be broken alone.
Facts.
6 grand or 60?
Baby, you would take your wife to Roof Chris if you were to have 60K a year? Once a month?
Maybe for our anniversary. Maybe for our anniversary. And that's because I put in overtime specifically for that day. At 60 grand, bro? No, come on, dog.
What? That's only like what's that? $150, $200 for both of y'all?
Man, if I'm in that 60 range, you getting Roof Chris whenever the Olympics come around. Once every 4 years.
So what you eating, Denny's? Go Denny's?
Big dog. Big dog.
Yeah,
we making spaghetti. We're making spaghetti. Hey, we're making spaghetti at the house.
Oh.
Okay. Honey, why? Wait a minute. Hold on.
Hey,
honey, why? Hey, y'all. Now, see. Hey, okay. Y'all know why I came up here. I'm trying to stay in that motherfucking chat. I can't stay in this damn chat. Y'all come up here with this. Listen. Honey, Wise, Jerk, M3, y'all already know that the reason why y'all having this argument is not because there's a misunderstanding. That's not it. None of y'all up here give a fuck about Beyonce types. Nobody up here is pretending to know what's going on in any relationship. Y'all up here talking about real shit. But there's some people that need to talk above their pay grade because they really want to tell you how much money they make because that's what makes them feel good about themselves. But in reality,
put a name on it. Yeah, put a name on it.
Who really gives a fuck? Nobody really talk about that. Nobody really gives a fuck about anything that is being said about who's at Roof Chris. Because let's be clear, okay? Roof Chris is nothing to talk about when you really know anything. I'm a 6-figure earner and I don't go to Roof Chris, okay? Seriously, you talking about 60 grand? Shut up. Just shut it up. Get the fuck out of here. Here's the thing. When you talking about somebody who really got your back, they not worried about no motherfucking Roof Chris. That's not what the fuck it is.
What are you talking about? LaFon?
Spaghetti and hot
Hold
dogs.
on, you had time to talk. Hold on, you had time to talk. Hold on, shut your mouth, chill out, go get the bill, go do something, okay? Let me cook a little bit because y'all been talking for a little bit now. Let y'all been talking. Now, here's the thing: in real life, with people like me and Jerk and M3 and 100 Watts is right, we don't fuck with people that only need a meal. If that's the only kind of date you can go on, yo, there's a whole sector for people that need to live in that world. We're not talking about that. We're not in that world. Nobody gives a fuck about over there. If you need to be over there, go the fuck over there. But sometimes people from over there get tired of being over there, and then they want to come over here and want to talk about what the fuck people doing over there. And what I'm saying is that shit is boring. Aren't you tired of that conversation about chicks that only want to take you out on dinner dates, chicks that only care about your money, and when your money isn't there, they're not there, they're on to the next? Aren't you tired of talking about that? When is the last time that wasn't the case in human history, that women weren't operating like that? Aren't you tired of that? Wouldn't you like to talk about the young lady that you met, Ruthless, that wasn't like that? How about you tell us a story about one woman that you met that was not using you for Netflix and chill, that wasn't using you for your dinner dates, that didn't give a fuck about you shopping at Balenciaga, that didn't give a fuck about how much money you make off the books? Talk about the woman that actually gave a fuck about you. Let's see if you really about that other life. Go.
Ain't nothing wrong with Ruth Chris.
That shit. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all, that's what I'm talking about. Trying to educate that nigga. Gotcha.
What's wrong with Ruth Chris? What's wrong with Ruth Chris?
He's still stuck on Ruth Chris because he hungry. Nigga, go get something to eat, okay? Go get something to eat.
What's wrong with Ruth Chris?
Go get something to eat. Go get something to eat.
I'll say this, right? Us men, we are by nature.
Oh, no. Ain't no us men, sir. And ain't no us men, sir. These men up here is not fucking with you. Ain't no us men, okay? Stay talk about you. Talk about you, sir. Talk about you. Talk about you. You the only man up here that talk like that. So talk about you. Talk about you.
Talk your mouth, right? That's what you
Talk about you. Talk about you. Talk
There are
about
many
you. Talk about
other men besides these 200 pounds, right? There's many men out here. So us men understand that we are providers, and we accept that role. We accept that. And we're not sitting here complaining about it. It's okay to be a provider.
Who is us men?
That's all men who think like
Who
me.
is us men?
All the men who think like me.
Okay, so now see, M3, this is what I'm saying. And M3, this is what I'm saying. When you standing next to niggas like that, right? Like the JP type niggas, they sit and tell you that this is the us men. Us men feel this way. Meanwhile, the only reason why I came up here is because y'all are sitting around as men trying to tell him what men do and what real men don't do. And he's telling me us men feel this way because he got a short fucking memory because he's over fucking 50 years old. Get the fuck out of my face.
What are you talking about? You're not nobody.
I don't care who you think I am, sir.
Well, why are you here? Why are you here?
I'm here because everybody on this fucking panel wanted me here before you got here, okay? I'm here because M3 dropped that damn stream. I'm here because I made streams out you here. I'm here because at the end of the day, I can carry a conversation more than you, and I've had that. I'm here for several reasons. Do you need more reasons for why I'm here, Ruthless? Or are you okay with just one? Which one do you need? Which one do you need, babe? Which one do you need? Do you need more than one? Do you need more than one? Because I thought that you only needed one, but if you need two because you keep it, I can give you more than that. I really can.
Listen.
You need more than two?
Y'all need to go.
You need more than two reasons. Let me know what number you need, and then we'll
hold on. Let me ask a question real quick because I do want to. Since we got Oshun here, what is provision to you? How would you define it based on what you?
Who you talking to?
To you, Lola.
He said,
you want to know?
Yeah.
How do you define would you say provision? And the second part is since you're like you're pretty financially savvy and you're doing well for yourself, does provision kind of change for somebody like women in your kind of like class, I'll say?
It don't. The definition of provision doesn't change, regardless of how much money a woman earns. It don't change. At the end of the day, right? Provision isn't just what you provide monetarily, because some of the richest men in the world are getting cheated on and divorced. So that is not exactly what all prevention is. And that's part of the problem with, I think, most people, that when you say a man is a provider, they think money. They don't think wisdom. They don't think charity. They don't think foresight. They don't think morality. They don't think in those terms. They think, oh, as long as I got money, then I get to tell people what to do. I get to wear the title of provider. You know how many men are walking around out here that had fathers in their lives that was home, but yet they didn't have a relationship with them and don't see them as leaders, let alone providers, even though they were paying the bills. Reason being is because hold on, you ain't no female, are you? Okay.
She a gold digger.
Okay. I thought there was another female on this panel. I thought another female on this panel. It probably is, but let's chill. Let's chill, girl. Okay, let's chill. Ma'am.
Hold on, Ruthless. We're gonna come to you next, Ruthless.
Yeah, I love coochie.
Ma'am, they're gonna get your female perspective next, ma'am. Okay. They're gonna get your female perspective next. Okay, I promise you, ma'am, they will. Okay, mammy, sit down, mammy. Sit down, mammy. Mammy, sit down. Okay, sit down, mammy.
My bitches only.
Mammy need to clean her slip, and shut up. But anyway, like I said. Listen here, ma'am, okay? You need to stop talking, okay? We're going to let you talk, okay? We want to hear from you too, ma'am, okay? We want to hear from you too. All right, you're a woman too. We want to hear from you too. I ain't the only woman up here. Okay, I want to hear from you too. All right, Jerk ain't that kind of type of person to sit and not put both of us on the stand as women. Shut up, stop it. I'm coming to you next. Let me finish. Let me finish. All right. So like I was saying, Jerk. Hey, I was talking to Jerk. Like I was saying, Jerk. Okay, provision. In most people's eyes, they go directly to finances, right? And I think because they go directly to finances, that they skip over the true meaning. And it's much like when someone tells a woman, you're supposed to satisfy your man, right? Sexually, right? And all she thinks is, oh, as long as I lay down and get my legs open, he should be okay. And people are like, well, no, when we say that, we're not just saying lay there and get your legs open. That's not exactly what pleases a man, even though it does qualify as having sex, right? This is the cognitive dissonance that some people have. And truth be told, there's some women like that. Like that it really is. So, but this is the problem. It's a different form, but it's really the same concept that's being misinterpreted. So when you tell me, well, what is a provider to you? It's someone that provides something that's needed. Specifically, in this case, for somebody who is in a traditional relationship where a woman is not working, the husband is not only providing money, but he's also providing stability in the form of several other things. She's providing other things outside of what he's providing. So she's also a provider, just for a different purpose. In your more, your more new age setting, men provide whatever is needed in a more egalitarian definition of provision. So, like I think you were alluding to, Jerk, in terms of other things that men provide on a more, let's say, non-physical level, those intangible importance, like important things. This is what we're now moving into as far as like what's necessary in relationships, because, and this is to, Ruthless point, that now that resources is not tied up in the male lineage, right? That it's anyone, no matter your title, no matter your sex, you can get a job and sustain yourself. Marriage traditionally can't no longer be based on, well, a woman needs to eat, sleep, and have some place to stay. So therefore she needs marriage. That's not no longer what marriage is based on. It's just inevitable. So now people have to choose marriages based on let's say more innate qualities within the person. And this is where we see the breakdown. I see you as a provider, but I don't want to see you as another human being that has feelings. I see you as the leader, but I don't want to give of myself to help you do anything because I feel you should do it all on your own because you're a leader. This is the cognitive dissonance that people have on an emotional level because we're in this in-between phase. And I won't prolong this. We're in this in-between phase where we're going from what our great-great-grandparents had to do as a result of society to what we now have the option to do based on our own internal workings. That's a different shift of a paradigm for us to be moving. And I'm talking about like very swiftly. Okay. Like this is happening very fast. Like it usually takes hundreds of years for this to happen. This is like one whole century, if that. So I would say, some people would say high earning women only need men for their money to match and because they high earning versus lower earning women. And that's not the case. A high earning woman and a low earning woman have the same innate needs out of a man, which is not just for him to be a leader in the household, but for him also to be a leader in their relationship and a leader when it comes to their moral setting. Because even your most ratchet bitch, if she think that ghetto dude that she dealing with ain't the type of person she want to model herself after in whatever way that is, you're going to have a problem because she's looking for him to lead in that way. So there's no real difference in terms of the definition of what is a provider. But I would say that there is a problem with people understanding, let's say, the nuanceness of what provision can look like in different situations, within, the human spectrum. And I'll leave it there. Go ahead, Mammy.
So that's another conversation. All I'm saying is, even if, yes, there are different levels of women, for the pie chart of financial means different percentages, right? But even if she's a high earner and you're a high earner, right? Her prerequisite, right, is the guy's gonna have to be equal or better than her. Or just even to start to figure out, are you going to be emotional support and all the other shit, right? So women who make a lot of money would not too much get with a nigga who's making less money than them because they don't respect them, right? They lose a lot of respect for them. Like, you ain't on my level. You're bringing me down. You're holding me back. I'm not here. You're the leader. They won't no longer look at you as a leader if they're wearing the pants. So that's all I'm saying, right? Now, as far as emotional support and all those things, yes, those are a part of the pie chart, right? I'm not dismissing that. That is, of course, once you pass the prerequisite of what she thinks her provider should be providing, right? So if you're showing that you're, able to consistently pay for the dates, pay for y'all time together, man, that job could be a part, whatever, right? And then through that time, while you guys are going out, she's going to ask you questions to see if you're emotionally intelligent. Is you a stoic? Right? She's going to look at all the shit she wants for herself. And then she's going to see if you're capable of matching all those expectations. So it ain't just about money, right? That's what I'm saying, right? But till you get in the door to get that interview, you do have to be a level of a provider that she seems deemable to deal with, and that's just a fact.
Let me ask y'all something, because I was just thinking while y'all was talking.
But that's not really the fact, because just as much as he's in an interview process, she's in an interview process. There is no leverage that a woman has over a man that a man don't have over a woman, because you could literally set your standard at 5 bodies and ask her that one question at the top of the date. And when she says, I got more than 5 bodies, it don't matter what type of money you got or what kind of man you are. She's disqualified. So there's no leverage that she has over you to which you say, well, he's on a date and in order to get his foot in the door. That's your mind telling you that she's better than you and you have to live up to her standard versus you coming in as an equal and saying, hey, we both bring something to this relationship that we may want to start. And now we have to show each other what we have and see if the other person want that. That is not a matter of, well, I'm trying to interview so I can get some time in here. That shows where your mindset is at.
So Lola, real quick. So a guy that feels like he don't have leverage in that situation, he lacks standards and probably insecure.
Yeah. Well, no. I'm not gonna go as far as to say he's insecure because I think that's a stretch, right? But what I will say is this. I think a lot of guys sometimes when they get on dates with chicks that they deem as very, very attractive, right? Like either facially or bodily or both, right? That they feel that this is their chance, right? This is their chance. And instead of seeing her as a whole entity, meaning, yes, she looks good, but her ass and her face ain't going to be raising your children. You see what I'm saying? Like for real. And child support is paid to people, not beautiful women. At the end of the day, like when you start seeing her as a whole person, you stop looking at her, any woman, and saying, oh my God, like I usually don't get a chance to be with women like this. Man, I don't want to lose this because you need, this is what this is. You see what I'm saying? You're paying too much tax that's not even being asked of you to pay. Shorty is there with you because there's something that she wants from you. Now you got to figure out if that's just your resources, if you got to figure out if that's just your penis at some point, and you got to figure out if it's just whatever. But you're also valuable in that. But if you come into it looking at her body and how she look and feeling like you don't usually get a chance to be with chicks that look like her, you're going to treat her like she's the employer and you're the employee. When in fact, most men would see it just the opposite. But in truth, there is no employer. There's two people that come providing different things that they both need. And it's a negotiation on when that's going to happen or if it's going to happen. So it's not so much that I'm calling them insecure, right? Everybody wants to be with somebody beautiful. Everybody wants to be with who they are attracted to, but most people don't understand. Most of the things that you are attracted to are things you don't need. And it's things that honestly, if the circumstances would change just a little bit, you would be the most, like, you ever seen a guy who was attracted to a chick and then the way she talked to him made him totally just dislike how she looked to the point they don't even want to date any other women that look like her? That's how it's your feelings about how somebody can change. So no, I'm not gonna call anybody insecure. I'm just gonna say they're just not in a place where they are seeing through the right lens.
Okay. Let me ask y'all, because I was thinking about it when y'all was talking before. So back in the day, like families arranged marriages, and when a family would go out, say they looking for a wife for the son, she had to come from like a family from the similar class system. Where do y'all think we went wrong? Do you think we should probably bring something like that back? Do you think that would solve a lot of these issues? Because I forgot who I was watching the live, and they were just like, nah, men back in the day, they messed with females that came from families that had something. They wasn't taking no, like, now with some, you hear guys talking, they be like, man, I'll take the IHOP waitress. So you think men need to kind of go back to that dynamic, or we need to do something like that?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think people been watching Game of Thrones too long. I really do. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not trying to realize it, but I do, because first of all, what you're seeing is a culture of royal politics. That has never been the culture of the regular layman. The regular layperson is not saying, well, her family doesn't have a certain status or else we're not there. Now you're talking about the aristocrat like class, right? What culture even has that? You see what I'm saying? So that right there, you can't. The reason why a king only marries a female from a certain lineage that is related to him by blood, keep that in mind. That's that cherry picking I'm talking about, is because they have rules endowed by God that the rulership, the kingship, is endowed to their family. That is different from how the regular farmers do their business. When a farmer in the same culture wants to marry his son to somebody, they have to pay a dowry for her, which means the father's side needs to have some money because they paying for a service. That service that they paying for from that girl is for her to leave her family and come join their family in the work on the field, in the family business. That's how everybody got their paycheck. Nobody went to a job and sat in front of a computer and got paid buku amounts of money. Everybody was in the field. So that's why the regular commoner married their children to people based on the family connection, because at the end of the day, families are doing what they need to do to survive. You tell me, does your mother and father need you to marry a woman making $50K or less or more in order for them to be okay?
No,
not at all. Not at all. We don't even have the same physical setup anymore. We don't acknowledge kingship here in the West. That is illegal. So when we say, let's bring back arranged marriages descend from the culture of kingship. That's illegal in the United States, period. So it's like, what are we talking about? Like, for real. So this is what I'm saying. What people really want is to be able to say, no matter what type of person I am, I'm gonna get me a wife because somebody gonna give it to me because I deserve that. I'm human. That's what that is. This is people, specifically men, who are unachieved, right, and undeserving and lazy, saying, I don't want to work to be attractive enough for a woman to want me. I don't even want to work for a woman's father to be attracted to me. I just want to be able to say, hey, somebody is going to be with me. It don't matter who it is, somebody. Now, let's be honest with you, right? Women will give a lot of men a chance that if their fathers had to pick, listen, y'all talking niggas talking about half of them virgins and shit. You know how many more niggas would be virgins if men had to judge other men? Y'all would never get married. There would be no motherfucking marriage. My father has never wanted me to be with no fucking body. There's been 2 people my whole life that he said, you know what? They cool. My father don't want me with nobody. He told me, you don't got shit to pick from out here. I'm the best there is, really, and I feel sorry for you as a woman. That's what my father told me. And my father loved me. You think that man about to come out here and see what the fuck is out here and say, you know what, I want my daughter to marry you. A man that he can smell when he walk in the room, you got hand problems. He can smell that you ain't all the way heterosexual. He can smell that you lying about your money. He can smell that your asshole smell like something else. He can smell what the fuck you done last summer. Listen, people say they want arranged marriages, but in reality, arranged marriages was based on a culture that they themselves do not want to adhere to any longer. That's not what they want to do. No man wants to sit and pay $10,000 for a wife in dowry fees. No man wants to do that. But they all talking about arranged marriages.
Ruthless said he'll be cool with paying that fee.
Say again?
I said Ruthless said he'll be cool with paying that fee for the right person.
And this is why most men wouldn't marry their daughters to Ruthless. Because he's a liar.
Oh, now you know how to say that. Now, why you say and she gonna break.
Let's see you still awake, Ruthless.
He literally said, wait a minute, hold on. Ruthless. Hold on. Every time somebody say your name, ain't the time for you to get angry. It's not the time for you to get angry.
$10,000 for a bitch.
Hey, you wouldn't. Let me tell you why you wouldn't, right? Because I heard you on another podcast saying that you don't ever want to get married because it's not for you. So that type of person is not about to turn around and say, yeah, I'll pay for a bitch. You don't even really want to pay for a bitch to pay your time for a bitch to come sit with you to Netflix and chill. $10,000, nigga, stop talking to me. Talk to Jerk. Don't talk to me before me and Rob B do some shit and review some shit. Okay, stop it. Okay, when I come here, I don't really want to talk about your house fight moment. But see, what you do is make it really, really hard for somebody to stay on top of you. Okay? Stay in your place and let other people have a conversation that really is not about you.
My bad, Ruthless. I was just joking.
Don't joke like that around the fans, man.
Okay. Now, Jerk, to get back to what you said, Jerk, okay, about the paying $10,000. Most men don't want to pay for anything, let alone $10,000 just to be married to her. Hey, Ruthless, can you shut up? Because he was talking.
Because you said some dumb shit.
Can you shut up? Because he was talking to me. He was talking to me. Can you shut up?
I thought you divorced and
he was talking to me. He was talking to me. All right, like that's not. It don't have nothing to do with you.
In your mouth, though. Talk about what you want to do.
Hold on.
Hey, just let it go. We're good, y'all. Let it go.
Here's the thing. Hey, Jerk, did you not ask me what Ruthless would do?
I don't give a fuck, man.
Nah, she said you wouldn't pay. So
she
gave you
I'm sorry, Jerk. Hey, Jerk.
But she said what Rob B and her gonna do. What the fuck
did you not tell me that Ruthless said that he would do it? Did you not say that to me, Jerk?
Yeah, I said it. I was joking around.
So you did say that to me, right?
Yeah, I did say it.
When you talk about, so wait a minute, Jerk. Jerk. Ruthless, when you talk to me about me putting my name in your mouth, tell that to Jerk, because I didn't put your name in my mouth. He actually said that. See how stupid you said?
Hey guys, I want to ask on mic because I can't hear both of you guys talking at the same time, so it's redundant.
Drop him, because at the end of the day, he want to tell me I put his name in my mouth. Meanwhile, that was Jerk that said that. It won't even me. Nobody talked about him. Nobody talked about you, but Jerk. Jerk is the one who said something about you.
I said Jerk. But come on, let's get back to the conversation because y'all was actually cooking.
No. Don't skip by it. Don't skip by that because that ain't right. Jerk, tell him that you said his name first because right now,
I said it.
On the past podcast for real. Tell him that. Don't let him skirt past that.
We having a conversation, and they want to come up here and regulate some shit.
This ain't your podcast, dude. So stop. Jerk, you tell him whose name got put in his mouth.
No, I said his name. I was just joking around though.
Okay, so you said his name first, but he up here talking to me.
I just told you that was some soft shit he did.
Oh, okay. So Ruthless, do everybody a favor, right? Do everybody a favor. Hey, Ruthless, can you hear anything?
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let's settle down. Oops, hold on. My bad. Let's all just settle down, all right? And just keep calm. All right? Anyways, I'm gonna bring you back guys on the stage, but Ruthless already left, so.
Good, because at the end of the day, I hate bitch ass niggas like that. He gonna literally sit there and hear Jerk say his name to me and then tell me, well, when you put my name in your mouth like the bitch that he is. That's why I told y'all last time, when y'all be sitting up here having conversations with niggas like that, I make y'all look for real. Like, what the fuck, y'all? Somebody said that in joking, saying, well, Ruthless said he would pay $100. And I said, well, Ruthless is a lie because I know he ain't doing that. This nigga wanna pick a fight with me and shit because he afraid to pick a fight with Jerk. That's that bitch shit. But the problem is he really got a fight when he got with me. Like, and the real reason why he up here talking shit is because he already know about that hot mic that I got recorded on that hard drive. That's what he got. That's what he really mad about. Y'all sitting here, I don't know why y'all ain't holding him to task when he start talking shit. Like, that hot mic let you know everything about that nigga. Like, right now, we talking about men paying for women, right? This nigga was upset on a hot mic because a chick was supposed to Netflix and chill with him and she didn't show no interest and he was mad about it. That's what the fuck happened. And I'm sitting here like, yo, you don't want to pay for shit. So don't tell me you want to pay for no bitch. You don't. But is that am I lying on him? Like, do we need to do an FBI like for live for real? To know what's going on?
Well, look, we'll have to say that part, or like on someone else's show, because we're still talking about like the situation that, unfortunately, with Myron's case or whatever, that I feel like it's okay to like tell the artist one thing or encourage the artist to do something, but then you have your first ever girlfriend, and it's okay for you to have like signs of love. And look, and I'm not shitting on the people who actually like like give money or sponsor or pay for the girlfriends or whatever. It's just that all I'm asking is like, hey, like just own up to it. Have that same type of energy that you had before, like when you was with her, and have that same type of energy now, like when she left you for like a roller skating guy.
Well, the reason why I think well, not you, but I think the reason why people are having just the visceral reaction to Myron now is because now the lies like is too contradictory, right? In the beginning, you could argue that he's not really lying, right? You could argue that, right? Most people that knew could clearly see it, but now the contradiction is too much, and that's what happens on when somebody creates a system based on a lie. At some point, the system collapses on itself because the lies get to contradicting too much, and then it becomes something no longer that can be sustained. At first, when he said he don't date black women because they wear weave, right? That's what he said. He don't like that. Now I see every day he wearing weave.
Yeah.
You said weave?
He talked about black women and their weave and their stinky hair and all that other stuff. What do you think is underneath of the weave he's wearing except for glue?
Yeah.
I mean, that's true though.
And that's a small thing. That's a small thing. You feel me? That's a small thing. But then when he sat up there and he was being contradictory in front of what's her name? Princella. When she pulled his card on his own book that he wrote, because she read that shit and she quoted it back to him, and he wanted to call himself shutting her down, when in reality he wasn't shutting her down. He was just exemplifying how much she was right about what she was saying about him all the way. And there's been several other contradictions. Okay, I've been preaching, blew his ass out the water too many times, but now y'all are seeing his real life contradiction. Like in real time, you seeing the contradiction, right? And now it's like, dude, you supposed to be a guru at how to get chicks, how to get laid, and how to pick them. And we see you ain't picked nobody. You don't get laid the way that you say you do. You got a lot of chicken heads around you that come on that show. But trust me, if it wasn't for that show, they wouldn't be around you. So therefore, there is no you picking anybody. Bitches is picking you, okay? Because of the show, not because of anything that got to do with you. Same thing with that other clown that he do work with, the dark-skinned dude. He the same way. Get a Chinese chick pregnant. You see what I'm saying? Out here, raw dicking it up, dirty style. And talking about something, he don't want the baby like the street nigga he is, for real. This what I'm saying. Like, niggas want you to think that they all business and they professional and they only deal with high class chicks. Meanwhile, all they dealing with is a bunch of chicks that's on Instagram posting pictures that probably live in a third world hut somewhere. Like, real talk. So I'm not surprised. Ain't nothing he doing that's surprising me. He can't keep a relationship. That's not a surprise. That's really not a surprise. He chose a bitch that was on some, she liked to hang out with a bunch of dudes all the time, and she disrespectful towards herself. That's not a surprise, because that matches him. It matches him. So what are we talking about? Like he's a contradiction. He's always been a contradiction. People just didn't want to see it because they were blinded by his rhetoric about certain women that they themselves have a certain hatred towards. That's why they didn't see it. But if he wasn't talking that rhetoric, if he would have came out talking about democracy or some shit like that, niggas would have been pulled his card. But because they allied with him, oh no, now they pulling the card because shit is too obvious. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I ain't surprised either. Like you said, that's why I have the issue. I'm like, we could talk about behaviors all day, but if you openly going towards that pool of women, then you shouldn't really be talking no shit. Your issue lies with what you selecting.
Pretty much. And honestly, that's the problem with everybody. That's the problem with everybody. Everybody's selecting the toxicity that they actually match. Like, that's the problem. Seriously, that is the only problem we got out here. Everybody got a problem that they don't recognize, and they out here picking people and not knowing, essentially unconsciously, they're picking their toxic match. And they're saying, oh my God, bitch is so toxic. And it's like, why you seem to tend to run into the same kind of women? Yeah? Like the same kind of women? Like, you ain't God to know who's what. So how are you picking the same kind of women? No. You're attracted to the same toxicity over and over and over again. That's what it is. And honestly, we all get into that box, even myself. So, now that's the problem. What you said is exactly the problem, but that's more. It goes beyond Myron and
But I would think, man, when you hit a certain, I couldn't imagine making the same mistakes that I was making in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it's a little different, because he's up there in age, got some like life experience, and it's like, damn, you still, follow for the hokey doke like that. That's why it get a little fucked up.
You talking about, you feel like, are you saying you feel Myron should have known better?
Well, I'm just saying, like, at his age now, especially like review of relationships. I'm with you. Like, I understand why he's in the bind, but I do after a certain age. It's like, man, you got to get a little wiser.
Well, you see, he was lying about his experience in relationships when he was talking about how to get girls laid and putting out all that those in books and stuff like that. He was lying about his experiences. And if anybody was paying attention closely to him, you can clearly see at his age, he hasn't really been in too many relationships, 1. And then the relationships he was in, they weren't long term, 2. 3, he didn't have enough experience within his relationships to understand the depths of the problems that relationships can go through to be able to articulate to other men what they need to do. Like, if I've only been in 3 relationships and most of them was under 2 years, right? And I'm 38. That's telling you I really don't have a whole lot of experience. Now, there's a reason for that. Now, I'm not talking about that reason, of course. So as a man at his age, if he hasn't been in too many relationships, and I heard him say that. I heard him say, I'm too busy to be in relationships. Nigga, you just got on YouTube. Nigga, like, for real, you do a podcast, even if you did your podcast every day, right? That's your job, 1-2 hours a day, right? You telling me you don't got time to get your dick sucked? Got you. I got you, bro. Got you.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like I understand, man, you can't have a ton of relationships and stuff like that, but shit, if Bill Gates and fucking Jeff Bezos could have a relationship and they own Fortune 500 companies, we ain't got no excuse.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's the truth. And see, that's the thing. When you about this life, you see what I'm saying? For real, it's proven. You see, your life is proof of what you actually are talking about. There is no dating coach that has never dated before. There's no marriage coach that's never been married or isn't married, right? There's no such thing. You can't be somebody who get on a podcast like this and talk about what go on in the ghetto if you never been there.
That's fact.
There's a requirement here. And my thing is, men that have come from his background in Sudan, men that come from the culture that he was raised in, African culture, even if he was raised here, right? He was not raised American. He was raised Sudanese in America. He just parted from it because it was, let's say it was expedient to do so to get money. Because he used to work for the FBI. And a lot of foreigners like him work for the government. Why would he not work for the government to turn around to work on a podcast only to be where he at right now? Knowing what he know from working, with the FBI. He used to work for the FBI for real. And now he ain't making no money except for what he can get from being hyperbolic and turning it into, somebody who's an anti-Semite open. Like, how much money you think you fit to make in the United States doing that shit? Like, for real.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at Nick Fuentes. He been out here for real talking that shit before anybody was talking about it. And he can't even get on a flight.
Yeah, we need to do a breakdown of Nick Fuentes. I think that needs to be the next one. I'm gonna have to hit you up on that one, Lola.
Listen, I seen that rant he did after the rant he did before about Candace, and he was talking about this shit. He was really upset about that. And I was like, I kind of felt sorry for him, because I was like, damn, he only saying how he feel in America, and he can't even take a fucking... He on the train and shit. He on Amtrak. And I'm like, he talking about he told Candace the reason why I don't have a relationship is because he basically blackballed from everything. What the fuck is that? And he can't afford to take care of a family.
Yeah, so, my man is still, ain't he?
So what I'm saying is, if Myra want to go through that shit, okay, that's your choice. You free, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, they crazy. That's why I was like, man, they hurting themselves, man, with that. Because like, even when he was like, before you had jumped up here, I don't know if you heard it, where part of the clip, he was just like, oh yeah, I make her pack my condoms and stuff. I'm like, what? That's dumb as hell. I'm like, man, you put her on offense like that, she definitely gonna be out the gate. So I was like, you say some rhetoric like that, and you shaming the female or embarrassing her with that stupid stuff. Like, she definitely gonna get some payback.
And see, that's another thing too, right? Yeah, I did hear that part. Like, now it did go over my head. I ain't even gonna lie. I heard that part. But see, that's the thing. Men like him don't understand. If you got the life where you live a polygynous type of lifestyle, you ain't out here packing condoms just to fuck off. Polygynous men go out and bring women back to live in the house with them. Polygynous men, they get married to other women, and like all their children and them get together as a whole family. Like they all know about each other. There's no need for packing condoms. That's not how it is. And even in societies where they do practice that, right? Like in the Islamic society here, you're not gonna see no Islamic man tell you, my wife here on this that I live with over on this side of town packs my condoms so I can be good with my other wife on the other side of town. That's not what the fuck happens. Even they know there's a level of distance that women need so that they can manage that kind of relationship. So, I mean, like, come on now. He talking about something, I make her pack my condoms. He could have at least said, she's very nice to me. She offers to do this. But I know she probably would have hit the ceiling if he would have said she offers, knowing that other people listening to that shit. So that's what I'm saying. He don't know how to deal with women. His idea of a good woman is a woman that packs his condoms to fuck off on other women that's not her, bringing her back crabs and AIDS and shit. And he want to act like, for real, because he used condoms with other women that the condoms don't get taken off, as y'all know. And the condoms stop everything and pregnancy and shit like that. And so this is what I'm saying. You can listen to him and tell he's not very experienced, because an experienced man, even if that was the case, you would know, don't air that shit, because that's unnecessary. No nigga on that stream, listening to that stream, needs to know that your girl packed your fucking condom. That ain't helping nobody. Nobody need to know that that's the type of relationship y'all got. Nobody. But why would you say that? Because you like her so much? Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that was the craziest part. Because I'm like, man, even if I was living that lifestyle, I'm gonna shut the hell up. Even if people was asking me, I'm like, nah, man, we just, I'll be downplaying my shit. Because, I wouldn't want to put nobody on, like I said, offense, where they got to start explaining stuff. Their family might come and be like, what the fuck? So I'm like, let me shut up and enjoy what I got. I'm going to be downplaying shit.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I don't mean to wrap this up, though, but I do have to go ahead and bounce and get ready for
I know
work.
it's a 3-hour mark.
Yeah. But no, this was definitely like a good stream, man. Like, damn, I mean, almost like 3 hours into it. But, I mean, it was definitely worth having a discussion about, So, it's been a long time coming. But, hey.
Yeah, definitely stop tricking. That's the message for today. Hey, Lola, I'm gonna hit you up though, cause I'm gonna take a look at that. What's his name? Nick Fuentes. Yeah.
Yeah, check him out. I'm telling you, he's a funny character. But when you listen to that rant he did around the time when he was talking about Candace, like you gotta look at the timestamps or whatever. And he actually did claim that Candace's husband works for the CIA and is out here threatening Trump on low key. That's what he said.
Oh, for real? Damn.
Yeah. So listen, go watch that shit. That shit you gonna have like content for days fucking with Nick. But
yeah, I'm gonna check it out. But all right,
for sure. All right, Lola, man, it was nice having you up here.
You too. I catch y'all.
All right then.
All right, man. Thank you guys for tuning into Knowledge Lessons Toxic Tuesday. Damn, I forgot already. This was like Toxic Tuesday. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm so thrown off for my days, man. I got this long weekend this weekend, so I'm gonna be firing up some videos. But shout out to Lola and Ruthless. They the good thing, man. We gonna work it out. We still like them coming back up here, so that's the peoples.
Oh yeah. They'll both be back anyways, though, and it'll be like nothing ever happened. So that's a part of our Toxic Tuesday, man. Like you talk shit because you're toxic individuals. But after that, man, everything's all good and dandy, though. So no love lost on there. But anyways, shout out to Ruthless Truth. Shout out to 100 Watts and Lola. Shout out to like Marcus, Wally, and all the other people in the chat.
Yeah, shout out to everybody.
So
shout out to Myron.
Oh yeah. For being like a goddamn.
Hopefully he get it together, man. Like I said, smart dude, man. So it ain't just like we was doing earlier, man. He got some good attributes, man. If he just stop trying to oppress too many people, man, I think he'll be straight.
Oh
it's fuck him. It's like you did enough, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then, man. I'll let you close it out.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Anyway, so thank you guys for tuning in, and stay tuned for next time. And enjoy your 3-day weekend for most of you guys. All right, guys.
Got 4 day.
Oh, you got 4 day? Damn, bro. Like, shit.
I'm chilling. No.
Yeah, that extra day. Shit. All right. I see you. Anyways, man, enjoy that as well, too. So, all right, then. You guys take care. Peace.
All right, peace.
Knowledge and relationships.